All right. We're here again. Refresh if you cannot see us. And hello YouTube, definitely no technical issues this time either. So yeah. All right. Welcome everybody to the Pantsless Podcast. This is episode number 7. Number 7. And we're gonna be talking about E3 this entire fucking podcast. So strap in, I guess. And with us today, we got the most bestest people around. We got Sally Salkin, we got Trevor the Miracle, and we got Gradigi.
Hello.
Everybody, welcome. And
Hello.
let's start the show with a little PSA. So I know it's E3, and I know what you guys are thinking. God damn, that trailer looks good. It looks so good. Even though there's not a shred of gameplay. But there's a nice guy on stage who says it's the best game ever. And there's a cool little in-game reward you get if you go to Steam right now, and you it's just a couple of clicks, because the game is on the front page already, and it comes out in like 9 months, and it's so easy. It's a couple of clicks, because of course you saved your credit card on your PayPal and you did the PayPal easy payout thing, so you don't even have to log into anything anymore, and it's just a couple of clicks. I've done it, you've done it, everybody's done it. But here's the thing. The most important thing to remember: no fucking pre-orders. Okay, guys?
Yes, Sully.
I disagree.
I don't give a shit.
But I think it's fair. I think it's fair at this moment.
Except Final Fantasy VII, you are allowed to pre-order Final Fantasy VII because it comes with a sweet baby chocobo summon. How else are you supposed to get it?
Yeah, I mean,
Come on.
yeah, that's how they get you.
That's literally the only reason I'm buying the game.
And to be fair, they did show gameplay. So
They did. Actually, a lot more than I expected. But we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah. So
We're
what
actually not going to talk about that at all.
We're not going to talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake at all. Yeah, I'm missing a beard. Don't worry, it'll grow back like everything else. But yeah, what we're gonna do today, we're gonna talk about the press conference. We're gonna break them down, and obviously we can't talk about every single game that was shown, because that's too much, and we can't be live for 9 hours because people need to sleep. I am tired as fuck.
Or can we?
I mean, I don't know. I think Joe will tap out before I tap out, because Joe has responsibilities in the morning.
True.
I mean, yeah. So, all right. How, real quick, how was E3 for everybody?
I thought it was pretty sick.
I didn't get a chance to watch too much of it, unfortunately.
Yeah, I only was able to watch the Bethesda and Microsoft part with you, Tom. And Devolver. That was my first Devolver E3, so I was just kind of, blown away by what that was.
The over-the-topness.
Was it a shit show again? Because I missed it.
I mean, Devolver.
I don't know what it was.
Like, I already put on Twitter, before Devolver started, I said that Devolver wins. Because, I mean, Devolver wins every year by default for me. Like, legit. I don't care. Because what they do is they take it as a joke, as it should be.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
everybody has seen Keanu Reeves at this point, and honestly, I think everybody was surprised. I don't know how the fuck they kept the lid on that one. Like, nobody knew.
He probably just killed anyone who thought about talking.
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah.
It's just
I actually, when I first saw like a clip of him being on there, I didn't realize that it was E3. I thought it was like some old clip of, some nonsense game, and then I was like, wait, that says Cyberpunk in the background.
Sorry, guys.
Oh my gosh.
Go, Tom.
So unprofessional.
This is the shit when you just have 3 screens. But yeah. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go like through each conference as they were shown, and just talk about them, what we liked and disliked, and overall, like, I'm probably gonna be the snarkiest of all of us because I am snarky towards the games industry in general because I view it as a big joke. But yeah, let's start with let's quickly talk about Google, about Stadia. So Joe, did you watch the Stadia thing?
No, I actually did not watch the Stadia thing, unfortunately. That was the only thing I didn't get to watch.
Okay, so like there's not a whole lot to like recap from it. The big thing is price point. I think that's by far the most interesting part because we can't talk about the tech because nobody has tested the tech. I mean, it doesn't matter what Google says works until the general unbiased populace has tested it. It's whatever. I mean, there are specs, and if anybody is interested about the specs, then you can go check out the specs. But I genuinely feel that talking about the specs is not really beneficial because nobody has tested it. But you can buy the Google Stadia Founders Edition for $129, which gives you access to a bunch of shit and controller and first dibs on username and there was some other things. But I mean, the Founders Edition is for like probably the more. Are there even hardcore Google fans out there? I don't know. But the probably the thing that people are more interested in is how much will this cost for like us, you and me and everybody. So you can pay $10 a month, and if I understood correctly, that $10 means that you can play any game on Stadia that is on Stadia for as much as you want. Or you can choose to not pay for Stadia and use Stadia Basic, which means that you have Stadia, you have a Stadia account and everything, but you buy the games individually, just like you buy games on Steam. And the really big thing that they prefaced was play on any screen. You just need a screen and Google Chrome, presumably, and an internet connection. But they really hammer on this play with any screen. So if it works, like honestly, if the latency thing is an issue, then it will never work.
I think that's my biggest concern with any kind of service like this.
Definitely.
Is if you've got major latency with any kind of game streaming, actually any streaming, that's, I don't know, that's no bueno. Hands down, 100%. I don't really know what they're promising, but
yeah, well, I think with just how picky people are with frame rates nowadays and stuff, like it has to be absolutely perfect with no latency at all for it to actually succeed in today's market. Like,
I definitely agree that, I mean, that's, I mean, people get mad if now these days people get mad if it's like a 60, if it's even 60 FPS, which back in the day was great, but people get mad if a game can't even do 60 FPS well. So, I mean, I can't imagine how much of a stickler they're going to be on something like that, combined with any input lag that might happen. So.
Yep.
I mean, especially if you play like a fighter game where like you can't have input lag.
Yeah.
So let's say it works like as intended, like there's no input lag. But then the next thing it will be, it has to have like zero input lag all the time. So what happens when you have issues like 5 or 10 times during your play sessions? Like, let's say you have 1,000 inputs, but 10 of them are laggy. Like, you remember those 10 times. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it has to work flawlessly in my mind. Like, it can't be like works like 99% of the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think.
go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah. I think maybe if you're playing a game like The Witcher or something, like if you have like you said like 1,000 inputs and like 10 are laggy, well, you might be able to just put up with that. But if you're in any sort of like competitive game at all, that's gonna break the game for you. You just can't play it then because those 10 moves are what's gonna keep you from winning. So I mean.
Yeah, that's basically what I was going to say, is that any type of competitive game, people are going to avoid getting it on Stadia if it's not 100% consistent 100% of the time, which they can't really do given that they don't control the entire internet. But I mean, what that's going to do is like it's gonna rule out anyone who does anything competitively, like with FPSs and things like that. No speedrunners are going to buy any game on it, because
that was my first concern.
It has to be 100% consistent, because if you're going to spend 18 hours running a game, you want it to be the exact same from your angle every single time. And for competitive games, that just means that anyone who gets it on Stadia is at an immediate disadvantage. So,
I didn't even consider that. Like having a cross-platform situation where Stadia does have lag. I did not consider that being a problem, but you're right. Yeah, that's a huge issue.
It wouldn't be as much of an issue, but it would still be an issue. It wouldn't be as much of an issue for, and I don't even know if they would, I'm sure they will, but like Stadia exclusive games, because then everyone's kind of on the same board. But it would still suck, and people wouldn't do it. I mean, that game just wouldn't get bought. I mean, if Counter-Strike Go was on Stadia, would people buy it? Probably not, because that is like down to the millisecond on movements, and you can't, you don't want to have a lag spike and it mess up the whole game.
Yeah, I mean, and like honestly, nobody has tested it. Maybe it won't have lag, but I mean, it'll be out this year. There's no release date, but I mean, I think that's pretty silly. I mean, there's 6 months left of this year, so I mean, if they don't know when they're gonna release it now, then I mean, when are they gonna know?
Is that what they're claiming this year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even during their live stream, they said available later this year, which is like, I mean, still, I mean, that's 6 months. But it'll launch with the like. I was impressed with all the games that they have like lined up for it, and they have a lot of like launch titles. Like they've talked about Doom, they talked about Ghost Recon, they talked about Assassin's Creed Odyssey, they talked about a couple of indie games, and like a whole lineup like unconfirmed but like kind of promised. So I mean, Google is obviously probably like putting a lot of dollars into this thing, and yeah, maybe it'll work, maybe it won't work. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah, I mean, if there's a company that can do it, I'm assuming it'd be Google. So,
well, I don't know. I mean, they had Google Plus.
Yeah.
Well,
I just hope they don't treat it the same way they did that.
I mean,
I don't remember what the website is called, but there's a handy website that shows like all these from big tech companies, mainly like Apple and Google and Microsoft, where it's this like app graveyard where there's a bunch of shit that like these companies have done and that were like just like really short term, and they just died away.
Yeah, I mean, even I agree, if there is a company that can do it, it would be Google. But I mean, like I said earlier, and I said last time we talked about it too, they can't control everything between me and them. If everyone was on Google Fiber, I have zero doubt in my mind that it would be an issue. But the guy down the road from me that has 5 meg DSL, I don't know if he's gonna be able to hang with Stadia.
Yeah, they.
I mean, if you have DSL, you shouldn't be able to afford Stadia in the first place. But I see what you're getting at.
They did show during their live stream a little graph where they kind of had the minimum and the maximum for the 4K. But again, I mean, the graph's useless until like everybody tests it out on like en masse, and like the people living in like outer like that rural outbacks or some shit. Like, who knows?
The one thing I did see though was that it for every 65 hours of 4K gameplay, it's like a terabyte of data used. Do you guys have data limits on your services?
No.
No? Sully, do you have one?
No, not currently.
I didn't know how
I know
big
some
it was.
places do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some then some places also have the like hidden in the writing like it's unlimited, but then once you hit a certain amount, they cut it by a lot. So you know, you still technically have unlimited data. It's just shitty, crappy data.
Right.
Comcast. No,
Just yeah.
I haven't hit that yet though. This is my first month on it, so I mean, it hasn't happened yet. We'll see.
Yeah, so that could definitely be an issue, but I don't know how much data it's going to be using. So.
Well, it was a terabyte for every 65 hours of 4K is what they reported. So and I that's a ton. To be fair, that's a ton of playtime. 65 hours is quite a bit, but if you have like a kid, that's nothing. Like for us, 65 hours is a lot of playtime. But if you have like a teenager who's got nothing better to do to sit at home and play video games all day, 65 hours is gone in like a week.
You watch your mouth.
That's okay. My bad. If Sully sits at home and plays video games all day, that terabyte's gone in a week.
I mean, I have a job, and you know, when I get home, it's usually sit down and only play video games.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah, Stadia out later this year, so we'll see. We'll see what the fuck happens. So next up in our list of conferences is EA.
Yeah, I did not watch any of EA.
Really? Oh shit. Well, I did. I totally did. Because
have at her, dude.
Pitter patter.
I mean, it was boring.
All right, let me look at. Let me at least pull it. Yeah. There's only 7 things on their. Oh my god! Can we just skip it?
I enjoyed the Star Wars trailer.
I thought it looked so fucking boring.
See, it didn't look boring to me at all. Like,
yeah, I didn't think so either.
Yeah, it looks like you're. I don't want to say standard isn't standard like like boring, but it looks like a standard, you know, action adventure game that, you know, it looks like something I would play.
I mean, here's the thing: it's gonna sell a ton of copies. What I think is kind of ironic is that EA shut down Visceral Studios, who were making a single-player Star Wars game, and back then they cited that they're gonna pivot their production to a more whatever thing, and what they meant with they want to make multiplayer games because they sell more, or live service games because they sell more, and now they have Respawn making a single player Star Wars game when they could have fucking done this shit a couple of years back.
It bothers me so bad to have such an amazing franchise like Star Wars be in the hands of such just money-hungry developers.
The shittiest.
It's really it's super concerning for something like that. And you're right though, it is going to sell a shit ton. It definitely will. But I feel like there's so many other people that could do it better.
Yeah.
I could do it better.
I mean,
that's right. I said that. I don't even watch Star Wars.
I'm not going to go out and buy the game like day one or anything, but I'll wait for people to play it and see what people say. And if they're, I think they're in the same. I think almost everyone's in the same mindset with EA, like they're a shitty company and everything and whatnot. So I don't think people are just going to give the game good ratings because it's Star Wars. I think they'll give it shitty ratings if it's shitty and it's good, and if it is good. And if it is good, I'll probably buy it and I'll play it. Even if it is EA, because I would like to play a good game, no matter who.
Oh yeah, sure. I mean, yeah,
That's fair.
Yeah.
it is fair. It is fair. I just have an undying hate towards EA, and I don't care if they make the best game ever. I won't buy it. If Cyberpunk were to be published by EA, I would skip it.
We played Apex.
I know Apex was free though.
All right, I'll allow that one.
So you won't
I
play a
didn't think
game
about
that
it.
supports EA then?
Yeah, no, I
Even
won't.
though
I won't give
technically
them my money.
Financially supports EA.
Yeah,
We'll say.
I won't give them my money. They did announce for Apex though a new character and season 2, but Apex has been on the decline
Yeah.
since the beginning. So
Yeah, I think with the announcement of the new character, they might see a slight peak a little bit in Apex, but it's just going to do what it did before and just, after a week or two, just drop right back down. It's not going to get back to where it was when it first came out, but they'll see just a slight peak.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the new VR that's really giving it any run for money? Or are people finally getting tired of VRs?
Oh, there's a new one that just came out at E3. Me and Grategy actually played it last night.
Yeah. Yeah, we did. We got second. First time in, we got second.
We got second place, didn't see one enemy.
Yeah. Until he
That
nuked
is-
us.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't hate it. We'll talk about that later.
yeah, we're gonna touch upon it a little bit more. But yeah, otherwise EA was just, it was just boring. They announced some Battlefield 5 stuff, some FIFA stuff, some Madden stuff, some Sims stuff. Like, it's...
You just listed everything. Because
Yeah.
I had no idea. I'd never looked at that. And that's everything. There's 7 games on this
Yeah.
list.
You guys aren't hype about Madden? God.
Fuck off, Sully.
I would be surprised if they even sell Madden games in Europe. I don't know if I've ever seen a physical copy of Madden anywhere in Europe.
Yeah, they're probably
just-
very niche, I can imagine.
Yeah.
I'd rather play like NBA Street from like 1992. I don't know, I'm tired of sports games.
It's fucking Madden and FIFA or whatever. They'll play as good as the last game.
They
nothing
always
has
sell
changed.
well, but that's such a different. I hate to say that people that play those games aren't gamers, but they're not my kind of people.
What are you gatekeeping right now?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Fucking sports games people are not the same as every other gamer.
I agree. There's
They're
so
not.
many
They're a
people
special breed.
There's so many people that will buy a console just to play sports games, and that blows my mind.
They exist. I work with one.
Really strange.
That's like, is there any one like IP that you can think of that if you had to, you would buy an entire console? Like, would you go out and spend $500 on like day one on the PS4 just because Madden 2016 was on it?
I'm literally about to do that next April. Well, not April, but March.
I immediately thought about that. Like,
But
that's yeah.
there is a group of people out there like that. Yeah.
Yeah. That just blows my mind. I know why they don't do it, because they make less money. But I feel like the easiest way to do that would just be like to release yearly expansion packs. And that way it would just be easier, but it's less money.
I mean, yeah. Because of course they're gonna sell the same game over and over again.
I'm sorry about you sports guys out there. I didn't mean to shit all over you. Just on you a little bit.
I'm not sorry at all. I'm glad you said it. It needed
Sports
said.
gamers, fighting game people, and then like the rest of us are down here somewhere, I guess.
Whoa. I play fighting
accidentally-
games. Get the fuck off.
Yeah,
I
you're a
accidentally
different
bought
breed.
a Madden game the other day, or a few months ago, on accident. had the PS4 controller hooked to the PC, and then apparently it activated my PS4. I didn't know. So as I'm playing a game, I apparently accessed the store and bought like a Madden game. And
What do you do about that?
What?
Yep, nothing.
You
No, you
want
own
to
it
send
now?
it
You
back.
own
It's
it.
Oh
broken.
yeah, I own it now.
Yeah, that's like the equivalent of opening up like Internet Explorer.
I actually bought 3 games. Well, technically I bought Apex Legends, but it's free. I bought a starter pack for Apex Legends. I bought Madden, and then I bought Rainbow Six Siege, all in one session, like while I was playing a game. So I just like logged in, and was like, "What the hell is this?"
Maybe that's where they get all their sales. They just hope people accidentally buy it and then don't.
God damn.
I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I was able to get a refund on one of them because I had not installed it yet, but I somehow installed the other 2 games or whatever. I can't remember which one. I guess I got something.
Can we get a Madden stream? Trevor, can we get a Madden stream?
I'm not
Just
gonna stream
one.
Madden.
Just one, yeah.
For like
Dude,
20 minutes.
I will literally pay. I will literally pay to see a Madden stream.
All right, I might do it then. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
I don't
Other
even
than
know how to play
that,
'em.
other than that, EA was just that. Anthem had a presence, a whole 2-minute presence, where they said nothing. And yes, I do still keep up with Anthem because it has become my kind of.
It's your new Fallout 76.
Somebody needs to talk to him because it's every day.
It's not even like Fallout 76. Like Fallout 76 was like over in a week, but Anthem is just, it's an ongoing train wreck that's on fire.
Fallout 76 is back.
I mean, sure, whatever. I mean, but
Sorry.
Anthem is just way worse. And it's fascinating, like to watch a professional company fuck up this bad continuously. And that's what's mind-blowing to me. Like, these are people on a payroll making decisions, and they're not insane. Like, no doctor has said that they're insane, and yet they're still making mistakes and fuck-ups continuously. It's
So what you're saying is they don't have health care and they can't get a therapist.
Well, probably. I mean,
Because they're clearly all insane. These are
this-
terrible business
at
practices.
this point, like, executives need to be fired. Like, they have tanked a project that was 6 years in development, which of 4 of those years they dicked around and did nothing. Like, how they were not fired during that period is beyond me. It's weird. And it's still going. It's a never-ending story to me. But yeah, that was EA. A whole lot of nothing, really.
Bucket of turds.
We get claps in chat for E EA.
Or Fs. Either one.
Just have that one guy talk about go,
Woo! I'm just saying, if you guys ever need a hype man, just give me a call.
Okay. I got you.
You be
number.
my little John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
But yeah, let's talk about something more like what we actually probably more enjoy too. Let's talk about Microsoft. Probably the best conference. Like, legit. Because they had the most shit. And they didn't dick around. I know like, for Sully it's Square by default, but
There was a lot of good stuff, but we can talk about that later.
yeah. I mean, it's for people like, generally speaking, it's either Microsoft is the best this year or Square is, depending on if you like Final Fantasy VII or not. But I think Microsoft had a really strong showing. They showed a lot of games, which is a really good thing for E3. Although a lot of them were CGI trailers, so nothing.
yeah. Yeah, I feel like we're getting more and more to where like the companies just want to show CGI because it looks pretty and obviously just to amp people up and not actually show game. Like some of these games I'm really like interested in, but then I'm like, I have no idea what kind of game it is. So, if it's, an example would be like, say if I don't like platformers, and I see this really awesome trailer and I'm like, this game looks fucking awesome. And then I go, a year later or whatever, find out, oh, it's a platformer. Like, oh, I was so amped up by this game for so long. And now I'm like, I just think they need to they should show gameplay more than focusing on cinematics, I think.
I feel like it was kind of a cop-out because they had said, back that they were going to have that this was going to be the biggest E3 ever. They're going to have 14 first-party games. It's going to be more games than they've ever showed. But I feel like most of them were just cinematics. Like I haven't counted, but I don't think they actually showed like 14 games. We saw some games and some movies.
Yeah, but see, they don't distinguish between them.
Yeah, I know, obviously, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like we got a little bit cheated on that by them saying that they're going to show us 14 games. They didn't. They showed us 14, a combination of some number of cinematics and also games.
Oh yeah. I mean, I do agree.
I'm glad. Like, it seems like this is general consensus too. That is really basically all we've gotten for the most part. Were just cinematic trailers. No true gameplay.
I mean, there's still games that were shown that I definitely wanna play, and others that piqued my interest. I mean, even they showed the Blair Witch game, which I had no idea was even a thing, and I know they're taking an old IP and using it, which has probably no ties to the actual Blair Witch universe.
Oh yeah, it does. Remember that guy was standing in the corner.
He was, and I was watching it with Trevor, and before they showed that it's a Blair Witch project or like a Blair Witch game, I said that is this Blair Witch because the guy was standing in the corner, just like in the first movie, where the first movie ends. Spoilers on a really fucking old movie.
20 years,
something like that.
Has it really been that long?
I think it came out in 98 or 99, right?
Yeah, something like that. All the fucking hype back then.
Oh yeah.
Was it real or was it not real?
Yeah, I actually thought it was a Outlast game because it looks very similar to that.
Yeah, but, it did look like very similar to Outlast with his camera and shit.
I'm interested. I just watched it for the first time just now, but
oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely got my interest for sure. But I enjoyed the Outlast games a lot too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely like the game comes out like August 30th. That's in a couple of months. So I mean, shit, if there's nothing else to play, I'll play a horror game. I mean, my my barrier to entry is pretty low on horror games because I get scared of everything. So it's good content.
Yeah, I really like I like the horror games where you're like you're hiding and you don't really fight back really, but like Resident Evil 7, I really had fun playing that, like because it does a mix of you can fight back, but then there's times where you really can't and you run and things like that. And I'm wondering if this one's going to be more just I don't know what they're called, but survival horrors more than kind of like a action horror.
Like a more interactive walking simulator.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're they're not bad, but
Yeah, that's how I feel like. Yeah, I like a lot of the horror games like that, but they're just walking. You just walk. And sometimes you walk the opposite way of the scary thing. So
pretty much.
So I hope this game has a little bit more of an act. I didn't see any action like with the person with a gun or anything like that. I don't think.
Literally a CGI trailer.
Yeah.
So I mean, who knows what the game is?
But I'd be okay if they implemented I don't know if you guys ever played like Fatal Frame for like PlayStation 2.
I did.
You use the Oculus, the camera, to like kind of fight the ghosts and stuff. Some kind of implementation of something like that would be neat. At least some kind of interaction, but I expect it to be like a hide and seek kind of game.
Yeah.
That's
what I got. I got the feel of
a
hide
lot
and
of
seek.
like those types of games. What I also like look for is just weird imagery, like things that are either like grotesque or fucked up or like weird. Because I mean, as long as the game can surprise me in some way, I'm usually pretty positive against that game. Like if I can't predict what's happening, then I'm pretty happy. Simple like that.
You're the generic jump scare guy.
Yeah. I mean, I know when the jump scares are coming, and I still jump because it's a loud noise. And I mean, that's kind of like why jump scares are just bad. Like psychological horror would work way better, but it's difficult to do. Gotta put like 60 jump scares here and there.
Yeah.
I don't play horror games.
Well.
Shame.
I'm a baby.
Maybe.
I was surprised. I hate like pushing forward, but I was surprised to see Phantasy Star Online too.
I thought that was awesome. I have no intention on playing it, but I know a lot of people that play cracked versions of the Japanese. So I'm really happy for those people that they're finally getting it in English.
Because it's been released for quite a few years.
Like 7?
Yeah. And it's finally coming here, which was, I don't know, it was a big surprise. But like you said, I have no intention to play.
Yeah, no. No.
It's just nice to see that there's so many JRPGs that are still just stuck in Japan. That it's anytime one comes over, even if it's not one that I want, anytime I see a JRPG that's just been like that people have been chomping at the bit to get in English, I'm happy to see.
Just a little weigh in from the RPG nerds. That's all.
That's it. I was really surprised at Battletoads. That came out of nowhere, and I'm super excited for it.
I think I heard about it a little while ago, actually.
Yeah.
Like it was rumored, but it wasn't, officially released.
Yeah, I've also heard about it like somewhere. I vaguely remember.
Yeah. How do you feel about the super cartoony look of it?
I wish it wasn't as cartoony, but as long as the gameplay is still solid, I'm not gonna hate it. Like I wish it was toned back just a little bit, because it looks like every cartoon that that Nickelodeon dumps out these days.
Yeah, that's what I was getting.
Like modern cartoons all kind of have that samey kind of like that Steven Universe, but it looks like those. I wish it was less cartoony, but as long as it's still good gameplay, I'm not gonna hate it.
I like they keep the typical animation, like whenever you kick, your foot gets big, like it's closer to the screen. Like they kept that little charm to it, but yeah, it is very, very cartoony.
Yeah,
like much more than I expected.
Yeah, it really does like have that like you were saying, exactly what I was thinking was that like Ben 10 kind of look to it, with like really thick outlines of characters, solid colors, things like that.
That is something that a lot of animation studios are going towards. I'm assuming it's because it's easy, but I really don't know.
It looks more 80s than it originally was.
I'll just show people a little bit of is there any fucking gameplay in this trailer?
Yeah.
How many tabs do you have open?
A lot of tabs.
I'm not a big fan of the art style, but it wouldn't keep me from playing it.
No.
I mean, if that's what they feel like they need to do to keep like the over the top, like Sully was saying, where like they kick and their foot grows big, or they like kick off a wall and they turn into a wrecking ball. If that's what they feel like they need to do to be able to keep that kind of aesthetic, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I think when you say that, like, oh, their foot gets, their hand turns to an anvil and they turn to a wrecking ball. When you say that, I do like. I can see why they would turn to a cartoony look, because that's what pops into my head. But I think if there was not an original Battletoads gameplay, like had that in my head, this would be perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But since I know what the original looks like, it's just one of those things. I'm like, this doesn't look like the original.
Yeah.
Or something similar to it, at least.
No release date on the Battletoads though, which is a little unfortunate.
I also, of course, like the DBZ game.
Of course.
And of course, that was just like another CGI trailer. I don't know how much of that was gameplay, because they more recently DBZ has had like the same graphics for its cinematics and its gameplay, that super cell shaded thing. So I don't know how much was gameplay and how much wasn't, but I'm gonna buy it just because it's Dragon Ball Z.
Well, what I noticed about that was me and Tom were watching, and we're like, "Oh, it's another fighting game, whatnot." And that's what you see in the trailer, is a bunch of fighting and whatnot, and it looks like one of their same old fighting games. And at the end, it says RPG.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
So
that's
I was
what
like,
that's what I was also like surprised about.
Yeah, it's a third-person action RPG.
But like
I mean,
honestly, like looking at this trailer, it does look just like every other DBZ game that has come out in the last couple of years. Like I can't distinguish them from each other at
Yeah.
all.
Absolutely.
I mean, they've always had like mild RPG elements to the games, right? Like you get the capsules like with new
Mhm.
skills and all that nonsense. So it's always had that kind of feel to it. But
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing
You
go
go.
ahead.
Nope.
Well, the only thing I hope it's not is that it's not just another Xenoverse game, because I could see them considering that like a third-person action RPG, and those games were boring.
Mm.
Hopefully, it's not that.
It really seems like DBZ is a really old property at this point, and it really seems like there's not a whole lot of universally like loved DBZ games.
well, is this true DBZ or is it just Dragon Ball in general?
This is DBZ.
I should
DBZ
stop
Oh,
saying
it is Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, I should stop saying DBZ and just Dragon Ball in general.
Yeah, it looked like from the trailer, the game goes like all the way. Basically, it looks like it stops at the Frieza saga.
Yeah.
That's super weird. I didn't know if maybe it had like GT and Super and
GT's not canon,
everything
though,
else.
right?
No, it looked like it was just telling the story that's there. It looked like there was no extra stuff that I saw. It just looked like you were watching the cartoon, basically.
I mean, we don't have a game like that though, that follows just Z's storyline, at least as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I mean, it might be. Like, it literally is named Dragon Ball Z Kakarot.
Yeah, I didn't realize there was actually a Z in there.
Yeah.
But yo, what about that cyberpunk really, like, bit though?
You've been waiting, huh?
Yeah, I've been
I think we've
waiting
all
for
been
you guys
waiting.
to like talk about what you want to talk about.
Before we get to Cyberpunk,
Okay,
because I
okay.
think we're going to be probably talking about that for a minute.
Okay.
I want to see Elden Ring.
Yes. Unfortunately, that was another just pure cinematic trailer, which sucked.
Yeah.
But I do want to see.
So yeah. I actually, I don't know how much you guys watch Vadi videos, but I like the guy, but sometimes it really feels like he stretches everything really fucking far.
Yeah.
And he did a trailer breakdown, and of course I clicked on it because I want to see how ridiculous it is. But the thing I want to mention from it is he bets that the game comes out early next year, which I can't fucking believe. Because Sekiro came out this year, and this game has been in development about 2 years. And I don't really see them completing this game in roughly 3 years. Especially when Miyazaki said that this is by far the biggest game they've ever created. And I rather like them taking their time on this, obviously. But yeah, Vati video is pretty cool though. Like I like his videos, but he stretches some things really fucking far.
Well, on that note, I remember the first Sekiro teaser where it was just the prosthetic, that was like tightening, and it was like a 15-minute video.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's like a 12-second teaser. It was like a 15-minute video breaking.
And there was so much hype over something that actually did not mean anything at that time. Like nobody even knew what that was.
Yeah.
And everybody was so excited.
But yeah, this Elden Ring is like, this is the collaboration between Miyazaki and George R.R. Martin. Now, I read an interview that Miyazaki gave. It seems like George's job is done. Like, the story and everything is done. So now they're just developing this beast. And he created a lot of the characters, the setting, the lore for the game. And now they're just going off of that, I guess. But yeah, the trailer, like literally does not give anything to me. But I fucking hope. I fucking despise Dark Souls combat. It's shitty. That's what it is. It's fucking shitty. But Sekiro, on the other hand, is one of the best fighting systems I've ever played. Combat systems.
Because the game is really hard, though.
Well, tough shit. And it's not the game you want to play. No, but for real, like, Sekiro's combat system is fluid, it's responsive, it's quick and fast paced. It works really fucking nicely. I really hope that this is the new standard for them. Like, go with this, especially this quick paced combat. And if they implement that into Elden Ring, then I will fucking play Elden Ring.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm fine with the combat in Sekiro and also Dark Souls and Bloodborne. I'm fine with all of it.
Yeah. I've tried Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, and they all suck ass.
I'm glad we're both on the same page that we've never finished any of the 3, but we bought all of them.
Oh, I've not bought any of them.
Well, rented it from, that website.
Bought them from Pirate Bay.
Rented them.
Yeah. I think a big thing though will be just the story being written by George R.R. Martin. So that's what has me kind of excited about it, because I mean, I think if it wasn't written by him, it would probably kind of come off as just another Dark Souls. Because the trailer honestly looks like it could be just Dark Souls 4.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but I think with his writing, I mean, obviously I don't know what the writing is, but I would assume with his writing, it's gonna be, pretty different than.
Honestly, with a minuscule amount of content that was in the cinematic trailer, I feel like that's really all that it has to sell it right now, is the fact that he's writing it.
Yeah, I think
not to shit on it, but
I mean, I think Bandai Namco will use this as a heavy marketing tool. I think they're really gonna push towards the Western market with this.
Yeah, I mean, he is probably one of the most acclaimed writers right now. So I mean, I would push that too.
Yeah, and I don't know that I necessarily agree with what you said, Sully, with him being like the only thing driving it forward, because I think at this point, especially, I mean, almost exclusively within the people who actually follow that kind of stuff, but I think at this point Miyazaki's name carries a certain amount of weight with it as well. Obviously, not nearly as much as George R.R. Martin, because Trevor's right. He's after like J.K. Rowling, I mean, right up there. Those even if you've not read any of the books, George R.R. Martin's name.
See, I'm the type of person, like, I'm not a big name person because I've got terrible memory. So like, I'm viewing that as basically that's all I know about that game. And I'm just now finding out that George R.R. Martin is even involved. You know what I mean? And like, I feel like I'm probably not the only person out there, but maybe I am. But for me, as of right now, that's all that's selling it.
Yeah.
I'm ignorant.
Also, that who would know Jar 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 with the HBO show? Well, that's the point. Everyone knows him because of the show. Well, at least that he wrote. At least
Let's
half
not
of it.
forget though, the books are pretty fucking successful too. I know you fuckers don't read books.
Did you read them?
No.
Then don't say you fuckers like you're an exception.
Like, I'm in that same group, but I'm not gonna call myself a fucker.
I will call Joe a nerd because I know he read them.
No, I don't know how to read.
Oh, okay.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah. I actually just have text to voice for all my chat, and I just listen to it.
Oh, man.
Pictures of shit, and it's like blah 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 blah.
So I've wanted to. I don't know. I tell people I don't know how to read because I can't focus long enough on a book to get.
That's always been my issue as well.
I want to, I just can't.
Yeah, I just don't have the patience anymore. Especially when like there's a shitload of books and a shitload of pages per book. And it's not finished. So if I would start them now and I get to the last book that's now the last book, I would be pissed off. Because then I would have to wait like every other schmuck.
All right. It's already been an hour and we're still in Microsoft, so let's move along to Cyberpunk 2077. Keanu Punk's 2077.
Keanu,
That's
man.
I mean it is, right? It's a Keanu Reeves game.
It's a Keanu Reeves game now.
Yeah. Someone pointed out that if it has a robust enough character creation tool, you can make Keanu Reeves, and then you're in a world where there's two Keanu Reeves, and that's a world I want to live in.
I assume that the main character you play is that you can't customize them. You either choose a male or a female.
Maybe.
But
Honestly, I don't know his play in the game.
They didn't really do anything. He just kind of showed up and was like, "I'm Keanu Reeves. Let's get out of here, nerd."
Yeah.
So I've tried to read a lot about this.
Yeah.
I kind of know what Keanu's thing is, but I'm not going to talk about it because it goes into spoilers.
The game's not even out yet.
Yeah, but I don't know what people want anymore. Like literally, because I mean, there's people who lose their fucking shit when it's like, yo, did you see that trailer? There was this one character, and it's like, fucking banned. Don't talk about this fucking game. You're fucking spoiling the game for me. So who the fuck knows? I can't talk about anything anymore. Okay, here's the thing.
I'm sorry.
Here's the thing. Keanu's not a character in the game. He's dead. That's the thing. That's the thing with Keanu. He's not there actually. He's a hallucination or a projection of the character, the main character.
He's dead in real life.
See, there goes Cloudy already. Spoilers, man. What the fuck? What the fuck, man?
But that again, they didn't show. That was all cinematic too, right? So we still have nothing to go off of.
I mean, there's a 47-minute gameplay trailer on YouTube from last year, so.
I actually still haven't watched that yet. You talk about it all the time. I still haven't watched it.
I mean, I can't
I'm not
force
gonna.
anybody to watch it.
I want to. I'm just lazy.
Well, I can't help you.
I watched a little bit of it.
Did you?
Skimmed through.
Yeah, Trevor skimmed it through and said, "Is this game only talking? Like, there's no action in this
Yeah.
game."
Oh, I do. There was a lot of. I do remember watching some of it, Trevor, and I also was like, "This is a lot of talking," and then I stopped watching
Yeah.
it.
Damn, it's a fucking RPG, boys. God damn it.
Yeah, well, RPGs are boring to watch.
Talking simulator.
Yeah, man.
We mashed the text here.
Exactly.
Can we skip the story to get the good parts now?
No, in the 48-minute trailer, or not trailer, gameplay, a 48-minute trailer, I probably, skimmed through. I probably stopped about 20 times throughout, and one time I stopped, and there was like, the guy was actually walking around and moving and doing things. The other 19 times, he was just standing there talking to someone with the dialogue box or whatever it was. And that's why I was like, oh, you're standing there talking the whole time. So
I don't know what
maybe
to tell
I
you, man.
just happened to miss all the action parts, or
Yeah, I don't know
actually
what to tell you.
controlling the character, or
I think it's mostly that you're not obviously I don't mind dialogue, or I wouldn't play RPGs all the time. But I think it's more that I'm just watching someone else's dialogue. That's what's boring. Like, I'm not invested. Nothing that happens in that situation is going to affect me. I'm not invested.
I think even if it's not main story, I think it's a terrible choice to show that much dialogue in a gameplay trailer, quote unquote, whatever the hell it was.
I mean, there was a bunch of fucking action in that 47 minutes. Watch the fucking thing from start to finish. There's multiple gunfights. Multiple gunfights.
Start with action.
It literally starts with action. After like 30 seconds, like hi, and what's up? And then it's like bang, 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 bang.
We skipped that part.
Yeah, skip that.
We're straight to the middle.
That's probably exactly what happened, Sully. Man, this guy's talking. 20 seconds later, he's still talking. And I just skipped to the middle.
He killed 30 people in between. Just
Guilty. What did we learn here? Start with the action.
Yeah, so Russian. It needs to start with a fucking bang. But yeah, Cyberpunk is coming out on April the 16th. The pre-orders are already sold out. With the noteworthy pre-orders. I did hear that they sold out on the console pre-orders. Then the day later they put out like PC pre-orders, and those went. And they also gave one collector's edition to the guy who heckled Keanu and said that he's breathtaking. And then
I don't think that qualifies as heckling.
I mean, it is heckling.
You're breathtaking.
It's positive heckling. It's still heckling.
That dude did put breathtaking in his Twitter handle.
He did.
He's embracing it.
He did.
Yeah.
I mean, I would too.
Yeah,
probably the biggest meme on Reddit right now.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's huge. It's everywhere.
Yeah. Keanu is just that whole thing is just him turning into a meme. It's awesome.
Yeah. I'm just gonna come out and say it now. Like, I am Keanu sexual right now. Like, I it feels so good to come out to everybody right now. I mean, I hope you guys accept who I am, and we can move on from this. It's not a big deal or anything. Like, I'm still the same Tomolo. I'm just.
I always look at you kind of weird anyway, so it's all right.
I mean,
Yeah.
This has nothing to do with Cyberpunk, but did you see that John Wick beat out Avengers on opening weekend?
is that
Good
possible?
for John Wick.
Yeah.
Is this a joke?
It was good. I watched it.
No.
Did I watch it opening weekend? I might have watched it opening weekend.
So Avengers fucked up somehow.
Well, it was also like their 12th week in the box office.
No, I mean,
I thought you meant like its first day beat out their first day.
Yeah, it did.
Oh.
Yeah, see,
Okay,
that's why I'm asking if this is a joke.
So I'm gonna backpedal, and it's just as impressive as when you first said it.
That is impressive.
Yeah, you know, that movie, it beat out that other movie that's been out for 3 months now.
That's what I thought. Well, like it was like 4 or 5 weeks later. It was still crushing stuff. It was wild.
I still haven't seen it.
I haven't either.
Okay.
I haven't seen John Wick 3 either, though. So
John Wick 3 is fun.
I've actually never seen a single one of them.
Wow.
They're pretty good.
I know.
I gotta go, guys.
Keep hearing they're good. I just haven't seen them yet.
I gotta head out of here. I got someone to murder, I guess.
We can watch it tonight. I'll put the pantsless cam on.
I think the first
We can all just cam down.
Okay. Nice.
makes you think that like Cyberpunk were just like, oh shit, Keanu's like the biggest name right now. He just beat out Avengers. We got to put him in this game somehow. Just make a trailer with him in it. Get it out.
Like, it seems Keanu's everywhere. Like, everybody loves Keanu right now. Like,
everyone, because he's a nice dude.
I mean,
He's a pretty
nice
wholesome guy, it seems.
Have you seen like he donates like half his money to the crew and stuff, and they make movies and shit?
Yeah, and he doesn't talk about it, which makes him not an asshole.
He was on a flight from somewhere to LA, and they broke down halfway, and he paid for a bus to get everyone the rest of the way there.
Yeah.
That's
He also
awesome.
stopped that bus when it got hijacked going 50 miles an hour.
Yeah, man. Did you hear about that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He really messed up Dennis Hopper for some reason. I feel
Yeah.
like that was a little aggressive.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yeah, what a good guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, Cyberpunk. It's gonna be the greatest game ever. Probably. Maybe not. I mean, I'm too old and cynical. Nostalgia will always beat out anything, but yeah, I will play Cyberpunk. I won't pre-order it. I will probably buy day one. Because
I'll
I
watch
trust,
you play it.
I trust CD Projekt Red immensely.
What about did we want to talk about the Xbox Game Pass at all?
Or about Xbox's next console, which is totally not what I predicted it to be. It's just another console. Which I will repeat what I've already said multiple times. If you have a PC, then there's literally no excuse. There's no reason to own an Xbox in the future, even though it's a really powerful Xbox. But who gives a shit?
I think we had a huge conversation about this off stream one night. I think it may have been all four of us, but I remember like all of us coming generally to the same consensus that if there's nothing revolutionary with this console, then that there's no reason for them to make one.
There is a revolution with it though. They have 8K.
8K, yeah, that nobody can utilize right now. Maybe like two people on this entire planet.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on like the lower end of, I'm pretty close to poverty, so 8K is not even in it's not even in the
You can buy an 8K on Amazon right now. It's only 8K TV. It's only about $15,000.
Yeah, just to give or
Dang.
take.
Oh, that's not that bad. I'll just sell my car.
2,000 a K.
Yeah.
Less than 2,000 a K. What kind of deal? This is so good.
I mean, yeah, like, but honestly, there's not a whole lot of details. I know they went through the specs on the new Xbox, but honestly, like, it comes out next year's holiday season, which is probably what people are most interested in knowing about. And I still do predict that the next PlayStation will come out next year's holiday season too, even though there's not an official announcement about it, but I still believe. Because why not? You gotta compete. But yeah.
They are promoting up to 120 frames per second. If I remember correctly.
I was wondering if just say you are capable of having 8K, if it was 120 at 8K, because that would be impressive.
Yeah.
Like Cloudy said, a $1,200 GPU can't even do 8K.
Yeah.
I don't expect to buy a console that can do that at 120.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know, like,
That would be
what they're, like, what the fuck, but Halo Infinite will be probably, I think they said that Halo Infinite will be, a launch title for just like in the good old days, you know? Welcome, North.
No.
And
Yeah. See, and I mean, you can't even do like it'll have to be. They're gonna either have to use like a better HDMI. They'll have to use like 1.4 or a different port, because like straight HDMI can't even do 120. Regular HDMI only does 60 FPS. So, I mean, they're gonna have to do something. I don't know. I'm assuming that HDMI 1.4 is like backwards compatible with like basic, but still, they're gonna have to do something.
Yeah, like
I actually do.
I still think though, like, it's nobody needs an Xbox.
Yeah,
mine
I do
is
think
just
the
sitting.
Xbox, the Game Pass is sick. I think that's a super good deal.
Oh yeah.
For $15.
Yeah. Game Pass is a good deal, and I think we're moving more and more into this kind of Game Pass system, and away from like buying retail price fully retail priced games. I think it's a natural evolution, because like with Game Pass you consume more games than what you would do with like $60 products. And so it's more like generally people like that more. Yeah. So why not? I think Game Pass will be the new kind of norm. Does any of you guys have Game Pass now? Because they announced the Game Pass for Windows too.
Yeah.
And, I don't see a reason to get it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get it. It's not for me, but I can see it be a really good thing. The Windows Game Pass version has a lot of products in it right now, and so it is like an instant access though. I mean, EA has been doing the same thing with the Origin Pass or whatever it's named.
Origin Premier, I think.
Yeah,
I actually had it for a couple months, man. It was a really cool service. I'll give it that, even though it's EA. I think I played Dead Space 1 and 2 like immediately.
I actually, believe it or not, I actually had Premiere very recently for 1 month because a bunch of buddies were like, you're going to love Battlefield 5 if you just give it a shot. I was like, you know what? I don't want to give them $60 or however much it is right now. So I did I tried a game. I played it pretty solid with them for like 2 weeks. I feel like I got $15 out of it, and then I canceled it because it's EA, and I don't feel comfortable giving them more than $15.
Did you like Battlefield 5?
I did. I enjoyed Battlefield 5, but I won't play it again.
Okay.
It wasn't good enough for me to break my EA.
I mean, personally, I don't care about Battlefield anymore. I played a lot of Battlefield 3. And then a little bit of Battlefield 4, and at that point I was like, this it's the same game. And then after that I started hating EA. And then I never bothered anymore. But yeah, new Xbox next year for Christmas. If PlayStation will sell their shit at the same time, they will probably win. At least I assume so. But
I'd probably put my money there.
Yeah.
You guys want to talk about anything else from Microsoft? Like how cool that Microsoft Flight Simulator trailer was?
Okay, I forgot about the flight sim. That thing looked awesome. That looked incredible. I'm never gonna play it, but that looked awesome.
Yeah, check this shit out, chat. Like for real.
I was legitimately blown away by how good this game looks.
Wow.
I'm gonna put sound on this one too. I don't remember if this has any sound though.
It doesn't need it.
Oh. I mean,
yeah, it really does.
Just to make it more epic.
It's just music.
It's more epic, dude.
But like during certain points in this trailer, I thought that they were like doing a side-by-side thing. Like they were doing like, oh look, here's our graphics and here's how it looks in the real world. But it's not. It's all their graphics and they look crazy.
That does look really phenomenal.
Looks fucking good, man. Like this shit looks good.
Yeah.
That looked good.
Yeah, not my cup of tea, but that genuinely looks pretty phenomenal.
Yeah.
Look at those graphics.
Yeah, I would say if you are into this sort of game, you're very happy right now.
Yeah.
Never gonna play this, but you know.
Yeah, I probably won't play. I mean, I wouldn't mind trying it, but I feel like to get the most, yeah, for sure. But I feel like
instantly.
I feel like to get the most out of those, you have to have the right gear for it. Like you almost have to have a flight stick. Like you can't. You can't really enjoy those games without one.
Yeah.
And I don't have one.
But I was like, and we're not the only ones. Like I've seen people on Twitter and Reddit like being really impressed by this trailer. I mean, yeah.
And it's got gameplay, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Whoa!
It's not just the cinematic.
Yeah. I don't have anything to say about the game itself, just the graphics look amazing.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it. But yeah, that was Microsoft. Yeah. So next we're gonna
Who's
talk
getting
about
Diablo 4? I mean, Minecraft Dungeons.
Well, okay. Okay.
I'm joking. We don't.
We don't have to talk about it because I mean,
Okay.
Ori and Will of the Wisps is kind of cool too, but I feel like I can't really elaborate that much on it.
Yeah,
Microsoft had a ton. I think what they excelled at, and probably what makes them a contender for best thing, is that they had a ton of little things. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. Oh, that looks pretty good. And like Ori and the Will of the Wisps was that they had a lot of big things, but even they didn't have like one big thing and then 15 minutes of disappointment and then another big thing. It was like a big thing, a lot of little things that kind of pique your interest, and then another big thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the new Minecraft is apparently like Diablo-esque, and Ori and the Will of the Wisps is something like I've been actually waiting for a long time, and I'm super happy that we have a concrete release date for it. Which is
it February?
Yeah, February the 11th. But yeah, it's coming out, and I really want to play it. The first Ori game is fucking good. And I'm really looking forward to this next one. I know Lurking is too. But he probably just wants to speedrun this.
I mean, he was talking about it before I even knew that it was going to be a thing.
Yeah. Yeah, same here. I don't think it was officially announced when Lurking was talking about it.
All right, you guys ready to talk about some Bethesda?
Some woo!
Everyone's favorite company to shit on.
Can we just find a clip of that guy and just play it every time something exciting happens?
Guy. I fucking hate that Woo guy.
Every time we start to talk, it's just that guy's sound clip.
I feel like every bar in America that you go to, there's always a girl that's doing that all the time. And he's that girl.
So fucking obnoxious. I fucking hated it. Like, Jesus Christ, shut the fuck up. And like the worst part is that they were wooing everything. Like the shitty mobile games.
Fucking Commander Keen.
The fucking raping of Commander Keen. And like everything. Like,
there's definitely a lot of people. It's a pretty common theory at this point that like the first 2 to 3 rows for Bethesda's conference were a combination of people who were paid hype men and employees.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing.
Yeah, I heard that.
I mean, who the fuck is excited about Elder Scrolls Blades? Like legitimately,
coming to the Switch.
A pay-to-win fucking piece of shit product.
It's coming to the
Switch. Like,
you get to play a free phone game on your Switch.
Oh my god!
What a deal!
Finally,
I can feel the cancer growing inside of me.
Finally, slowly fuck off.
Love you guys. Honestly, this whole conference is not really my cup of tea.
Like I've been listening to the drop frames guys a lot during this E3, and I completely am agreeing with Co-Carnage when he talks about Bethesda this year. What all the Bethesda things that Bethesda themselves are developing are absolute fucking garbage. But the Bethesda publishing side was pretty good.
Yeah.
And what is the good part here is Ghostwire Tokyo. Again, no gameplay, but I trust Tango works, and I trust Shinji Mikami, and I trust his disciple Ikumi Nakamura to fucking deliver. And Wolfenstein is, I mean, it's Wolfenstein. I can hardly see that they fuck it up. Deathloop looks interesting, so that is like this kind of, how would you describe it even?
It's 2 immortal assassins trying to kill each other. I don't really get it. Because they're like, I've got to kill you. I've got to kill you. But they kill each other like 5 times. So what?
It's like Highlander, but they come back.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's like Highlander with
Groundhog
extra
Day.
steps.
I do think it's interesting that like Bethesda for so long has been like heralded as this master story crafter and huge world builder. But right now, the games that excite me most that are coming from Bethesda are the ones that I don't give a shit about the story, and I just want to blow up Nazis, zombies, and wasteland mutants. Like those were their biggest things, where like they went from this huge storytelling titan to now no one caring about that story because they butchered it, and everyone just wants the mindless violence, which I am all on board for. I'm going to play Doom, Wolfenstein, and probably eventually Rage.
I mean, yeah, Doom is. I mean, shit. I was Doom 2016, fucking excellent. And I cannot see them fucking this up. But I mean, I won't pre-order it. I'll fucking play it.
I love how you have to elaborate that every time you say you're gonna play a game.
It's subliminal messaging. If I repeat it enough times, then people will remember it more.
It is exciting though, because not only Doom's an awesome game, super gnarly. The OST to this one and the last one are hands down probably going to be on par with each other and absolutely phenomenal. Like, I don't even care to play this game. I just want the OST. I just want to listen to the music because it's so good. And I'm even more excited that now there's actually a release date for it, and I know when I can hear that music.
Yeah, so Doom is, for those who don't know, it's coming out this fucking year, November 22nd. So, I mean, we don't even have to wait that long.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. What was the other game that was announced for November? It may have been in another conference. But I feel like there was two really big games that were both coming out in November.
Oh, Death Stranding is the other one.
That'd probably be it.
But it was not at E3. But totally announced before E3. November 19th.
Yeah.
Yeah, November is going to be a big month. Other than that, Bethesda also announced Orion, which is this weird like cloud streaming service thing that works with Stadia. And I'm really I'm a little hazy on the details, but it kind of felt like you're paying for Orion, which uses Stadia, and then you kind of pay for Stadia too. So,
do you pay for Orion?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was like a streaming technology that you just used with it. I didn't realize that it was like a subscription thing.
Like, North, do you remember? Didn't they say during the Orion presentation that you have to pay, like, was it $5 per month for it or some shit? I'm not gonna pull up the presentation.
Yeah.
I know, I just opened it and it was like 6 minutes long. I don't want to watch the whole thing.
6 minutes long of like just two dudes standing there talking. It's really boring. I might as well just go watch the Cyberpunk 47-minute dialogue.
Yeah, man.
Shots fired.
But I mean, yeah, Orion, again, it's untested technology, so maybe it works, maybe it won't work.
Fallout 76 is getting some additional content though.
Yeah, let's. Yeah. All right, I'm really cynical about it though.
I think everyone is. I think
you know what, dude? It's really not that terrible.
Oh, it's not. It's not.
Yeah,
terrible.
I finally said it, but I'm not gonna buy it.
Okay, so it's not terrible that they're adding human NPCs in the game. It's that they were fucking unable to do it in the first place. After repeatedly saying that no, every human you will see will be a playable. It's another player. That's how it's meant to be. And enough people were bitching, and now they're like, okay, let's fucking put human NPCs in the game.
The funniest thing is though, like they're treating it like it's something. I don't
like a huge perk.
Like this shit should have been there already.
Yeah, essentially they were like, oh, well, we came out with this game, but hey, by the way, psych, we skipped a step, and then they just gave you Fallout 76.
I think my favorite part of that whole thing is that they're playing it off like it was playing from the beginning. And they're like, oh, at the beginning of year 2, people have finally decided to start coming back. It's like, come on.
No, like you fucked up. You noticed that there's not enough players to populate your motherfucking game, so now you have to put human NPCs in the game with actual quest lines and fucking dialogue. Like, Jesus shit.
It is free right now, though.
It is.
If you would like to play it.
And
it is free.
It is free, and you can play the new Battle Royale mode that is in Fallout 76.
I'm probably actually going to play it tonight, by the way. Like I want to get back into it. It was neat. It's not really that bad.
Because of course it has a Battle Royale mode now. Of course.
With the Battle Royale, like, yes, Battle Royale's kind of, been played out and stuff, but I think what they said is, they had a big player base at the beginning, and 75% of them dropped off and said fuck you guys, and then the 25% stayed, and they're like diehard players now. I think just having an extra mode of play is good for those people. Like, they're gonna love it, they're gonna have fun with it, they're gonna it's gonna be exactly what they want. But, for the other 75% that aren't playing the game anyway, they're going to shit on it and say it's bad and everything. So I don't see it as a bad thing. It's just an extra. If I was one of those 25% players, I would be happy. That they're giving me just something else to do. So.
Yeah, I agree. And we played it last night, and Trevor and I have both played the regular game as well. And I mean, even though we definitely cheesed that second place, we did get second place.
Isn't that every battle royale match ever?
Probably.
Yeah.
Who has skill?
Yeah, I would say I wasn't one of the 25% that stayed, because I probably played it. I played it a good bit for like 3 weeks, and then I stopped playing. I don't know how you played it, Grategy, but
that's about the same.
I quit playing. Yeah. I don't think the Battle Royale mode's going to bring me back. I might play it a couple of times with you guys or something here and there, maybe, but I'm not going to, it's not going to draw me back to the game, I don't even like the NPCs and all that stuff. That's not going to make me go back to the game either, really. So.
It is
I feel like that's a damage done situation.
Yeah. I did feel like, and I don't know, because I don't have a ton of experience with Battle Royales. I don't generally enjoy them, but I felt like that was a much faster round. Even though we made it all the way to the end, I feel like that was a much faster round just because it has about half as many people as a normal Battle Royale. So if you're into like faster stuff, because it'll end pretty much as soon as someone gets a nuke. So I think we spent a total of 15 minutes, and we were one of the last 2 teams. So I feel like that actually has it going in its favor, that even if you win the game, it's still a pretty short game.
Well, how does the nuke work? Do you just randomly find it, or do you have to craft it?
There are boxes, just like in the regular game, like chests, and I actually found one that night. There's just an item called a nuclear launch code, and you have to get 4 of those, and then you have to find 4 or 5 launch codes, and then you have to find a briefcase, and then you just launch the nuke, and it whenever you bring up the map, it shows like an affected area, and it just kills everything in that area.
I'm assuming we only played one game, so I don't know for sure, but I would assume that like if you kill someone that has a launch code, you can take it from them, so that way you're not actually just searching for these launch codes everywhere. I'm assuming that way that's how someone can accumulate all of them like more quickly.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I didn't know if it was like a battle against RNG to win a match, or obviously I'm sure you can still win by killing everybody.
Sure you can.
And not just getting a nuke. You say sure you can?
You said sure you can.
Did I really?
No. Well, you said I'm sure you can, but you said it in a way that it came out like sure.
I heard it too.
Yeah, I think I hopefully that's not how every match ends. Hopefully it's not just a race to the nuke. But if it is, I don't think that's too terrible.
See, the thing that I would like to ask, like, for, like, you guys say that the battle royale is not terrible. I believe you, it's probably not terrible. But here's, like, you already have the game. But do you think that the battle royale and the inclusion of human NPCs and a quest line could get somebody who does not have the game to buy the game, considering all the fuck-ups that already has happened?
I think people will probably, I think some of the more diehard Fallout fans that didn't get it because of the shitstorm dumpster fire that it started out as, I think it'll probably just the addition of human NPCs will probably draw in a lot more people that avoided it specifically for that. And they are also.
Go ahead, finish. Well, you can finish.
I was just going to say they are also, like, one of the things that my big complaint, and in the end it's minor, but you either fought 2 different kinds of robots, 2 different kinds of ghouls, and then there was like 5 bosses, like 5 different type of boss monsters that floated around, and that was like the extent of the monster count. And I really enjoy monsters in video games. Like, the enemies are typically the thing I enjoy the most, is just knowing enemies and finding things out about them. That was super disappointing to me that there was so few. But whenever Wastelanders, I think is what it's called, comes out, they showed, like, they probably showed more monsters that were getting added than were currently in the game. So I thought that was cool.
That's the sort of shit that should have been in the game from the start.
I mean, you're not wrong. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Or at least maintain its beta status.
Yeah.
I think what's going to draw people to play the game more than, like, adding NPCs and stuff is making it free for this week or whatever. Because, you know, like Sully, like he said, he's never played it before, and it's free now, so he's going to play it. And like he just said a minute ago, he's probably going to play it again tonight. And they're going to get, I'm not saying he's going to do this, but they're going to get a few people that play it for this week and then kind of get a little, you know, involved in it and whatnot, and get attached to the character and stuff. And they're going to, that day is going to come where they can't play it, and they're going to, oh shit, I want to play it still. And they're going to go buy it.
I mean, sure.
So I think that's going to be more of a selling feature than actually adding like NPCs and stuff, just making it free for a week.
I'm never gonna buy it though, but that's because I don't want to play a multiplayer game. That's a Fallout game.
Unfortunately, I feel like it was an act of desperation to make it free to play for this short amount of time because of how poorly it's done.
Yeah.
And
it definitely was.
Just was not well received. But I mean, if that's what they got to do, that's what they got to do.
Yeah,
whenever Todd Howard mentioned the rocky start, you could hear people in the audience laugh. He's like, we know that it had kind of a, you know, a rocky launch, and there was at least like 3 or 4 people that went,
I also I did not buy Todd Howard's, like, there's so many players that still play this game. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he also talked about that Fallout 76 has the nicest players, like nobody's griefing. That's because the fucking PvP is broken.
It's because there's no reason to grief. You're not actually griefing anybody. Like, they just die and that's it. You lose junk. There's
so
no
PvP
point
then.
Fun, but I don't know.
Competition.
Oh my
not
god.
Lose.
Oh my god.
This doesn't have anything to do with Fallout necessarily, but how did you feel about the montages of
the dick stroking?
Yeah.
What? What kind of weird shit did I miss?
I don't know.
So,
I wasn't there either.
They literally had like montages of people. who were like talking, like in there. I really like these games, and they talked about like, I remember when I saw a dragon for the first time, and it was like, whoa, like so incredible.
They went as far as to say, this is Bethesda saying they invented VR, first-person shooters. What else was it? There was something else. I can't remember right now, but there was like all these like just huge leaps and bounds in the gaming industry, and they're like, "Oh, we did that first."
See, the first-person shooter I can get because id Software is owned by Bethesda, and I think id was the first one who did FPS game.
If you want to get technical, yes, because of the shooting part, but there were already first-person dungeon crawler games before that. If you want to, now that I don't know, I have not looked, but I mean, I think that they get off on that on a technicality in that FPS has shooter in the name.
Yeah, they said that they showed a picture of this dude with like some kind of goggles on that were like held together with tape
and aluminum foil.
Yeah, aluminum foil, and they were like, "This is the first VR headset, so we created this." Like,
this is ours.
And basically, I think it's just them. They're going, like, well, we fucked up so much last year. Let's just remind everyone that even if they did, I don't know if they did what they did, but they're just like, look what we did for you guys. So just forget about what we did last year because we did all this other good shit for you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I just think Bethesda has kind of lost their way a little bit. One thing I want to actually like touch on is, I don't know why, but a lot of people were really, really mad that Bethesda did not show Elder 6. I would like to point out that a few months before E3, Bethesda publicly stated that they're not going to show Starfield or Elder 6 during E3. And I don't know in what world people are living. Elder 6 was announced last year, yes. But Starfield comes out before Elder 6. And they didn't show anything about Starfield either. So why would they show anything about Elder 6? Use common sense, people, please.
Yeah, I mean, if they said, prior, like, we're not going to show this, then you shouldn't have any, problem with that.
And obviously, I understand that not everybody follows the games industry as closely as I do. And I mean, somebody who follows the games industry like once per year, and that's E3, they probably remember Elder 6 from last year, and they're like, maybe they'll show something more this year. And then they didn't. And a lot of people got real mad. So, great job. All right, that's Bethesda.
What's the next one?
Devolver.
So yeah, Devolver does they have a pre-recorded press conference every year. This was the third time. It's a satirical show where they mock essentially the games industry. I love them. I think their show is the greatest. It's over the top, and not everybody will get it, but it's fun times. The things that they actually like game-wise, what they showed. My Friend Pedro is something I've been looking forward to for months at this point. I'm actually happy to get to play it. Carrion looked cool. It's really cool that they actually made an Enter the Gungeon arcade machine that they're actually gonna ship to places. That's like fucking next level.
I think I heard it was $5,000 for one though.
I mean, I didn't assume that they would be kind of meant for casual consumers. I mean, they specifically, I think they talked about shipping to like arcades. But yeah, and the Messenger DLC, which is going to be free for those who own Messenger, I'm totally gonna play that.
Yeah, that looked awesome. For sure. Carrion also did look really interesting. I don't know if you're just like a blob going around like absorbing people and just murdering wonton like.
It looked interesting, yeah.
I couldn't figure it out either.
If you are just like this big angry blob of tentacles murdering people, I'm fine. That sounds like a good time. Because there's nothing wrong with like not having a solid story if you just lean into it. Like if you just want it to be bloody, gory, murder everyone, hey, I'm into it.
I mean, yeah, once we're closer to Carrion's release date, I'll look more into it. And they actually gave a release date for it, which is kind of surprising. June 1st, 2020. Which is, I mean, fucking a year from now, but still. It was actually pretty nice. My friend Pedro comes out June 20th this year. I mean, a couple of days. Next week. It's something that I've been following the developer on Twitter for a while. Posts GIFs for the game. And it looks cool. I'm gonna try to play it. But yeah, definitely, if you guys have never seen a Devolver press conference, I recommend starting at the beginning at 2017, because this is a storyline. It's like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, what these guys are doing. Like they have a continuous storyline from press conference to press conference. So totally,
I didn't realize everything was sequential.
Oh shit.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I started watching it at this one, so it's already weird, but it's really, really weird if you have no idea what the hell's going on.
I mean, I
don't know.
I think you can watch like any of them in any order. Like the continuation that they have. For those wondering, Trevor's gonna let the dog out, because the dog needs to do dog things. But yeah, like you can watch any Devolver press conference. I think like they have a little bit of continuation from conference to conference. But I mean, all of the conferences are fucking weird and like really bloody.
Yeah, I'm not sure that watching the old ones, watching 17 and 18, would actually make it less weird. It would give it context, but it would still be just as weird.
Yeah, weird. It's still weird.
Like this one starts out with a RoboCop reference. That's the first like 5 minutes of it is the presenter being RoboCop, basically.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
Wait, so we're the target audience then?
Yeah.
Us old
But I mean,
bastards.
there's a reason.
Exactly.
There's a reason why there's a RoboCop reference, and that reason is like if you watch the end bit of last year's press conference, you know why it's a RoboCop reference. I mean, like if it's a RoboCop, oh shit, there's Trevor's cat again. Hello, Tater.
Hi, Tater.
What if it poops this time?
Sully, say hi to Tater. Don't be rude.
Tater.
Oh yeah, like what Chad is also saying, Devolver also announced this Devolver bootleg thing, which is you can buy the bootleg thing. It's
currently on sale
for minus 1%.
It's 1% off.
It's bootleg versions of their existing games.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like Hotline.
Genius.
It's like Hotline Milwaukee instead of Hotline Miami, and then like it's like go into the gun dungeon instead of enter the gungeon. It's great. You need to look at. It's only like $5, and you get 8 of those bootleg games.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm definitely thinking about picking it up.
Great.
Yeah,
It's so good.
It's fucking weird, man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Devolver doing Devolver.
Bootleg your own games. That's like 200 IQ shit right there.
Yeah, I gotta look up the names real quick because they're all really good, and we have time to kill while Trevor's letting his dog.
Yeah, we do pull them up. I could put the fucking reveal thing here.
Yeah, it's 1% off right now too. It's 5 cents off. So there's Enter the Gun Dungeon, Hotline Milwaukee, Ape Out Jr., Shooty Boots, Super Absolver Mini Turbo Fighting Championship, Catsivania, Piku Biku Ball Stars, and Luft Trousers.
Yeah, I mean, and all of these games they're just bootlegged versions of existing Devolver games.
Yeah. Loved trousers.
And it's
Yeah. I want to play it real bad. That may be actually the next thing I stream. Tune in or don't. Not your dad.
Yeah, Devolver's.
I say you should watch.
Devolver is weird. And yeah, the Handsome Collection, which is the Borderlands games, they are 96% off. So I mean, if you don't own the Handsome Collection, now would be the time.
Why are we touching on that, by the way? I know it was in the Microsoft stuff, but
Yeah, I mean, Borderlands.
Maybe we skipped over it, or
we've talked about Borderlands.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And I mean that what they like showed the new character. Okay. And nothing else.
I don't have anything to add to it.
While Trevor is out, let's start talking about PC Gaming Show, where they did announce Chivalry 2.
They did. They did announce Chivalry 2, and it can suck my butt.
It won't kill Mordhau.
Probably not.
I mean,
It's not gonna happen.
It might have if it wasn't an Epic exclusive.
Oh yeah. I honestly don't know which one of these are Epic exclusives.
Yeah, I thought that it said exclusive on it, but I think that just means it's a PC exclusive.
You see, the stupid, like the site we're using only says Windows, so it doesn't tell like if it's Steam or Epic or whatever.
We moved on to PC gaming, Trevor. We just started though.
Yeah, it's nothing. What I do want to show, actually, I already mentioned this before we went live to the boys, but I'll mention it again. Shenmue 3, which was kickstarted a while back, like not the entire game, like the whole Kickstarter thing was a sham in my eyes, because they held the game hostage essentially, saying that if it doesn't get kickstarted, then it's not gonna get made. But what they asked for, I think, was like $2 million, and you don't make Shenmue with $2 million. So what happened was they filled the $2 million, and then Sony just gave the rest of the money. But I mean, to me, they kind of held the thing hostage back then. Anyways, so they promised Steam keys, of course, for the people who kickstarted this shit. But now, thanks to new developments, Shenmue 3 is going to be an Epic exclusive too. And obviously people are upset. Not all, but a large amount. And the people who have kickstarted it have kindly asked for a refund. And this is hopefully this translates on stream. My preview window was really small. But essentially what the Shenmue 3 team is saying, however, refunds will not be granted for this change. So fuck you, everybody.
Basically.
I mean,
wonder,
it's a dick move.
Like, does that mean that the game will still be available to people that... There wasn't like a pre-order thing, was there?
I mean, they promised Steam keys to the people who kickstarted it in the original Kickstarter.
Well, I'm curious if they're gonna pull what they did with what the hell was that game? Metro. Yeah.
Oh no.
They're not.
No, because nobody has pre-ordered the game.
It's only via Kickstarter.
Yeah, they've only donated money for a product that doesn't exist.
So they're either gonna get Epic keys or they're not gonna get shit.
I mean,
essentially.
Yeah, if they're not gonna get anything, then they will get their money back from Kickstarter. But yeah, they will get the game probably on Epic, but because Epic, then people just want a refund.
That's dirty, dude.
Mm-hmm.
That's a dirty move.
Actually, I think a lot of people point that same thing out, that refund policy doesn't fly in Europe anymore, but I think it does. And the reason I think it does is because people have not pre-ordered anything. They have only donated money for something. And that something is necessarily not the game itself. Kickstarter is weird with this shit. Like, you're not... Like, a donation is very different from a pre-order.
Yeah.
Like, I think Kickstarter works in a way that they have no obligation to uphold what they promise. I'm not super sure to what extent though. Like, where does the line go with that? Like, obviously, if they change a whole lot, then you can argue that it's not the same product.
Yeah, there's a lot of companies and stuff that do Kickstarters and basically just don't do shit with it, and then they're just like, well, you're out of your money, because like you said, they didn't purchase anything, they gave them money. And then sometimes I think like the way it works is you give me $5 and I'll gift you back something in return. It's not like you're not purchasing the I don't know, whatever, the thank you card or whatever. You're just getting it gifted back to, like, they're just giving you a gift, and for your donation.
See, I think that's how Kickstarter also classifies it. Like, the things you get are classified as gifts. The Kickstarter holder purchases those things at the end of the project to you.
Yeah, I know that it says in like Kickstarter's terms of service that like that by giving that, that there's basically no guarantee that you're going to get what you paid for. Because I've actually given to a few Kickstarters that ended up flopping and I was just out money. I think I've done that maybe 3 times. Now, granted, they were never, I think that like the most I lost on one was like $20-25, but there have been a small handful of Kickstarters that I still have floating out there that have just never gone anywhere.
Like, I'm not super, I've never like looked into how Kickstarter like works on that level. Like, what happens when a project is not completed?
Yeah, I know in America at least, like, if they just say, oh well, we tried and we failed, then you're just out of your money. Or if they just say, we tried and we just took your money and put it in our banks, you just lost your money. I don't know how it works in like
but I mean, there
anywhere else,
like,
though.
Because there has to be some sort of safeguards against fraud, right?
Well, they have to. So the way that they safeguard against like someone just saying, hey, I'm gonna make this, give me money to make this, is that Kickstarter requires like a proof of some amount of progress already. Like, they have to, if you have a device that you're trying to sell, you have to have like a working prototype, and it has to like be proof of concept basically.
Here's an example, and I'm not trying to bring up politics to like discuss politics, but recently a guy created a Kickstarter to build a wall for Mexico, build Trump's wall, and he got like 20 mil. Oh, GoFundMe. Okay, well, they're all kind of the same thing. He got like $20 million, and he hasn't done shit. And then he's just, people are just out of their money.
I think GoFundMe is a little bit different though, because isn't GoFundMe just like even more?
Give me money.
Yeah, like just give me money.
It's the prequel to Kickstarter.
Because
you have to have people give you money, and then you make something, and then you're like, hey, this is my progress.
Like,
I know that there are companies on Kickstarter that have claimed to make things, and they just don't, and they get millions and millions of dollars, and then at the end they're just like, oh well, we didn't do it, and you're just out of your money.
I will say, of the ones that I can think of that I'm thinking of that I did lose my money on, none of them said anything. So you don't have to say anything. Like one of them was just like a deck box. It was like they were making kind of artisan wooden deck boxes for TCG games, and then just nothing happened. They just stopped updating, and that's what happened on all the ones that I lost money. They don't say, we tried and now we're done. They just stop.
Yeah, I mean, and this is like because I haven't like looked into, like I bet if it's a big enough project, and we're talking about millions of dollars, probably at that point, if it just ups and fails, it would be a big deal, and probably a lot of people would complain. So probably Kickstarter does something at that point. And I do bet that Kickstarter also has some sort of safeguard that if I start a project on Kickstarter and I don't deliver, then I'm automatically blacklisted. Like I can't start another project under the same name.
You have a certain number of strikes. It's shitty, but you have a certain number of strikes. Like you could potentially rip someone off 2 or 3 times before. Oh, really? Unless I'm assuming if they think you did it maliciously, like you purposefully ripped people off, you'll probably get blacklisted. But I know that there are people that have done it with multiple things.
And I know what I'm doing tonight.
Yeah, man. Let's start ripping people off.
Yeah. All right, we're getting off track. Let's talk some more about these PC games.
Boy. Yeah.
We've literally not talked about any of them.
Any of them. None at all.
So the greatest thing that was shown during the PC gaming show was Mosaic. But not the game itself. I'm going to show you guys. Because they promoted a mobile game with their actual game, which I downloaded. Oh. And it's called Blip Blop. And this is what you do. You click the blip and you get the blop.
So it's a tap game.
Yeah, it's an idle game.
And then you can increase your blips and get more blops. I love it. I have prestiged 4 times. I have gathered
kill your battery simulator.
I have
gathered kill your battery simulator.
179.1 million blops gathered. I've played this shit. I love it. I love blipping my blops.
I usually do that in the morning.
Yeah.
There's a clicker game that I used to play a lot back in the day. It's called Tap Titans.
I used to play the shit out of Tap Titans.
Yeah. So, I mean, clicker games can be fun. Give it to
it. I actually thought Midnight Ghost Hunt looked kind of interesting.
Yeah, the game where that one guy is like, he's looked at the YouTube videos of Prop Hunt and thought to himself, I could sell that.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, yeah, sure, it looked cool. I never tried Prop Hunt, and nor do I really care for that thing. But yeah, I mean, I'll try it if other people try it. Obviously, like the biggest things of PC game, like entirely, the biggest things were Vampire and Baldur's Gate 3. Which, like, I don't know, Sully probably would play Baldur's Gate.
I've not played one since, like, way back on, what was it, like, the Apple II, the big, giant, floppy disk. I was fishing for words. But, like, the big text-based Baldur's Gate. I have not played one since.
I mean, but you did play Divinity 2.
Yeah.
And enjoyed Divinity 2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's made by the same guys, and it's still going to be probably a CRPG, so I would assume it's kind of like Divinity, but set in the D&D universe. And a lot of people probably really want to fucking play it. I will look into it. Like the reason I haven't played Divinity or not Path of Exile. What's the other big game Obsidian made? The CRPG they made.
I mean,
Have no idea.
must not be that
shit.
good.
No,
Was really like Pillars of Eternity.
no, I didn't play it.
Yeah, see, I tried playing, but at some point I can't read more. When there's just too much, it's too much.
But you read so good.
It strains my voice.
To read?
The way I read on stream, yes.
Oh, okay.
Sully knows.
Oh yeah, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that you don't have a command for that specific clip,
I am also surprised.
Well,
because I
shit,
think
maybe
we
should
brought
do
it up like the past 3 podcasts.
Yeah, well, maybe I don't want people to click away from the podcast. How about that?
Understandable. You are a beautiful man.
Beautiful. I honestly wasn't that blown away by the PC gaming showcase. There wasn't that much in there that really grabbed my attention too much.
Yeah, the only things that I really like, I'm really interested in Vampire. Whenever it comes out, like not too much to talk about. The other thing that I was really positive about was El Hiyo. I'm gonna put the El Hiyo thing on. Like something about this just like looks. Let's go here. You're and I mean you can draw whatever parallel is here. You're a small child trying to escape a monastery. So, I mean, insert whatever.
Oh, it's a stealth game.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
they got him.
It is a stealth game. Like you're trying to escape this monastery, and then you get out of the I mean, this is what they showed in the trailer. You get out of the monastery, and then you kind of like stealth your way through some city thing. But yeah, I mean, this looks like a small game that I would maybe enjoy.
That's neat. I only took like 2 things away from the entire PC gaming, or yeah, that thing. This particular conference.
Oh,
But
okay.
really, I feel, I don't know. I don't have much to say.
I mean, yeah, the
Yeah.
PC gaming show was they didn't really the big part because it was a lot of CGI trailers again, not a whole lot of gameplay. Like honestly, the biggest thing out of it was Blip Blob for me, because it's a thing I can play right the fuck now. I can blip my blobs right now.
I'm excited about Vampire just because that when I had like a really shitty PC back in the day when I was a kid, that was like the first video game, PC game I ever bought, was the original Vampire Masquerade. So just excited because of that reason alone.
That's cool. I didn't realize the first one was that old.
Oh, it's really old. It's also super
It's real.
jank.
I played the
Especially, like,
tabletop years ago. That's about it.
oh,
I've played Vampire a few times.
the tabletop or the game.
The
Tabletop.
tabletop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're those guys.
Yeah, I've actually played every game that's being turned into a video game. Cyberpunk, D&D, and Vampire.
Well, of
I didn't know
course.
Cyberpunk was a tabletop.
Oh, really?
That's neat.
Yeah, yeah.
I played Game World. I never played Cyberpunk.
the
Cyberpunk originally came out in the 80s. It was we can talk about it later. It was actually
Yeah,
really
sorry.
cool.
Yeah, I mean
It was
the
actually really
tabletop
cool.
guy who made the tabletop game. He was a consultant for CD Projekt during the game's development.
Oh.
I don't know if he's anymore there, but I mean, he did help the guys. Another noteworthy thing that is kind of becoming apparent because auto chess came out of nowhere, and because it's a popular thing, now everybody's having an auto chess. League of Legends is getting their own. Valve is making their own. And it was the third one. Well, Dota is getting a new one, like an official one made by some Chinese company.
Isn't there an Epic exclusive one? Or did I misunderstand that?
I mean, shit, there might be. Who the fuck knows? I've still not seen a single auto chess match. Like, I don't really know even what it is.
It's weird to me. I don't know.
Yeah, I have no clue. It doesn't sound interesting.
Yeah, no, not at all.
So I have a chessboard where all the pieces are shot glasses, and every time you lose a piece, you take a shot. Is that anything like auto chess?
Oh no, dude.
No, that's self-harm.
Oh yeah.
Technically is auto, yeah.
True. You say self-harm, I say a good time. What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Either way, I'm not gonna remember it the next day.
Are you guys gonna play? Do you guys want to play Zombie Army 4 with me?
I thought it
Probably
looked
not.
terrible.
What, really?
Yes.
I've played all the zombie games, or the sniper zombie games thus far, with friendos. I really like
It
them.
looked really bad.
You look
I mean,
bad.
the first
I
thing
know.
I
Look
said
at me. I have
whenever-
a mullet.
It's a good mullet. Don't downplay yourself like that, bro.
Thank you.
So just
The
have
first
to-
thing I said whenever it popped up on screen was, "Oh, cool, another zombie game," because that's what it is. It's
I mean, it
it's another
is.
zombie
I mean, yeah, it's really simple. You just shoot zombies. Really simple.
I actually already have that game like 17 times. I can play Sniper Elite Zombies right now on like 5 different.
Oh shit.
That's why it's not interesting to me. It's just another zombie.
Well, fuck.
I could drive through my hometown.
Yeah.
Same thing.
That too.
Yeah. If I drive through the right part, they'll even act like zombies.
Yeah. Another thing.
I have World War II gun.
Yeah. A lot of a game that a lot of people were really positive about was Planet Zoo, which is essentially just you managing a zoo. It's basically just a zoo sim. But yeah, I don't know. It got like a surprising amount of people talking. I don't really understand why. I'm not really into that myself.
I think like the simulator games just always fascinate me because like I've never been one to like really enjoy simulator like you know, like Big Truckers 5 or whatever, you know, things like that. And I'm just like, how do people enjoy this? But obviously it has a market. So, you know, Farming Simulator, we talked about that a bunch before. Like, I just don't see how people could enjoy that like as a game. But I mean, I think the people that enjoy those things are definitely probably going to enjoy that one. So, you know.
Yeah, probably. Well, yeah, PC gaming show as a whole, it was
Lackluster.
Yeah.
yeah.
I think lackluster is the best way to say it. It wasn't bad. Like there wasn't anything offensive or just like, man, it looks like garbage. It was just like, it exists. Sweet.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be way more interesting once there's more info on Vampire and Baldur's Gate.
So I didn't see this conference, but I'm looking at our little list we have here. What's Telling Lies? Because it looks weird. It looks like a movie.
It is like a live action game with real people.
So is it like what was that dating game not too long ago that got kind of popular?
The Telling Lies is some sort of shit. How did they explain it? Like you're trying to uncover like the truth behind some sort of like relationship mishaps or
Oh.
some shit. It looked
So it's like a
weird.
big, it's a big gossip game.
Yeah,
Gossip
something like that.
investigator.
I know the dude who one of the male actor who was part of the game was on stage talking about he's the same guy who was in OC way back in the day, and recently in a movie called Upgrade, which is actually surprisingly good.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Yeah, should we move on to Ubisoft?
Yeah, because this will be quick.
Yeah, because Ubisoft was also fucking lackluster.
I
No.
actually have something within this that I'm kind of excited about. I'm not even gonna lie.
Just Dance.
Please.
No.
Is it Just Dance for the original Wii?
I am excited about Quarantine. It really, for some reason, it really caught my interest. Not because it's whatever, because you don't really know what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe a zombie game or something like that. It's not that. It's the fact that it's a Tom Clancy. I guess we already have like the Division, which is like a disease outbreak or whatever. But I don't know. There was something weird about it that kind of caught my eye. I'm just interested to see more, not specifically hype about it, but I was kind of interested in it.
See, if Quarantine is free for the people who own Rainbow Six Siege, fuck it, I'll play it. If it costs 20 euros, I won't buy it.
Well, it's not like a DLC or anything, is it?
Like the
It's
thing,
a standalone. It's a 3-player co-op game.
yeah. But they might slap it into Rainbow Six Siege because they're using the Siege characters.
Oh, I didn't even realize they were Siege characters. I've never played it.
Yes, yeah, I recognized who they showed Ella, who's one of the Siege characters in
Okay.
the trailer.
The only thing that really interested me from Ubisoft, Watch Dogs Legion actually seemed kind of interesting. Mostly because like they show the first guy and they follow him for a little while, and then he dies, and then it looks like you pick another character. So it seems like they've introduced some actual risk into the game. So maybe you play as multiple characters, and as they die off or don't die off, I think that it could impact the story, and I think that's really interesting.
It's
I
much
don't know.
larger than that.
Okay.
It's much larger than that. This is how Ubisoft themselves market the game. You can recruit any NPC in the game and play with them.
That's kind of cool.
So my immediate question is, how much of that is bullshit?
Yeah, that actually makes me less excited that you can recruit any NPC, because if you can recruit anybody, that means nobody's important. So I actually care less now.
But the weird thing is, like, we were watching with North this, and when the grunt guy starts off the trailer, there's the little AI robot. Now North said that guy sounds familiar. Now I didn't know which one North meant, the AI or the grunt guy. But he linked the grunt guy, the IMDb page for him. Now I recognize that dude. He's an English actor. It's been in Dog Soldiers, which I've seen him in. So if they got like real people voice acting, and they market the game as you can recruit anybody, how many voice actors do you have? At what point do we get the Oblivion effect, where the same guy voices like 60 people, or even more? Or how about bad guys? Recruit any NPC. Can I recruit the bad guys? Can I recruit the final boss? Who's the final, if there is a final boss? Can I recruit the police guys who are beating the shit out of me right now? I mean, don't market your game, recruit anybody, because I can smell this fucking bullshit. It's not going to be anybody.
Recruit an army of children.
I think that was the goal of El Hijo,
Yeah.
whatever that game was.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably gonna be like people are already like really hyped about this because they actually think that this because they showed a couple of characters. They have like different personalities, and what they said on stage is they have their different lives. They're different. Everybody's a different person. But I don't think you can make that. I don't think that's possible. Like we're talking about a video game here. Like, can you simulate 100,000 people and everybody be distinct from each other? I call bullshit.
Didn't Red Dead do a really good job at that though?
But
If I remember correctly, the
don't-
NPCs in Red Dead. Yeah, but I'm saying like they had their own lives and shit.
Well, yeah, but you can program that. And I bet my fucking ass nobody has checked that. You can have one lady walk between two stores and put that same lady 60 times in different places. Walk from point A to point B. Like, fine, it's fine if Legion is a good game. I think it's gonna be probably a pretty good game because I mean I don't think they can fuck it up anymore. They have a pretty good formula going on. I'm mostly just pissed off that they market the game in a way that I think it's bullshit. Yeah,
I don't think you're gonna have to worry about voice actors though. I mean, they especially like the Oblivion thing where 1 million people do where one person does 1 million people. Because I mean they've shown that game studios are willing to put out with going back to Red Dead because it had so many NPCs. Red Dead Redemption actually has like the record for most voice actors employed for a single project in New York.
Oh.
So they actually hired tons and tons. I mean, it was hundreds of voice actors for Red Dead. So, assuming they can do it, I'm sure Ubisoft also has the resources to do that.
Oh yeah, sure. It's just it just puts it raises a lot of questions when you like you have these really big things. Recruit any NPC because there's thousands upon thousands of NPCs in a game these days. So
I hear a lot of doubt. A lot of doubt going on here.
See, Ubisoft is I don't trust them because they've lied repeatedly over the years, and they've been caught in their lies repeatedly. So no, I don't trust them. I think they're lying right now.
They're not even doing anything and they're lying.
Yeah.
Right this moment.
Right this moment, they're lying.
Even if they're sleeping.
Yeah.
To somebody, they are.
I mean, they probably are sleeping. They're a fucking French company.
I didn't know that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, the OG Ubisoft is from France. They have,
that was where the two French guys who both said fuck.
Yeah.
I thought that was really that that's just my childish humor. But whenever he was like, it's gonna be fucking awesome, and then the one guy looks at him and he laughs, and he's like, nah, he's right, it's gonna be fucking awesome. I thought that was really good.
Fucking children were watching.
What about roller champions, guys?
Yeah, so moving on, Just Dance.
No, it looked like a neat little mindless game to play, but then I checked Reddit earlier before we started, and there's like a clip of somebody like skating upside down around the arena, and it just looks broken, so I'm just gonna stay away. But I was actually interested in playing it.
So is it a
Not
roller
anymore.
derby game?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like Rocket League with roller derbies.
Yeah, it actually looked kind of neat, and so I saw
Rollerball.
some broken shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, anytime they
saw a lot of people talking about that they would rather wait for the game to be more complete.
Yeah.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah,
That was really all I had to say about it, but it looked cool.
it does look cool. I'm looking at the little gameplay footage that they have on this website, and it does look cool. I mean, anytime, I don't know, I feel like anytime they introduce a new sport into the video game realm, it can't be a bad thing, because someone has been wanting that. Someone somewhere has been wanting a roller derby game, and I'm happy that they got that game.
Oh yeah.
I didn't even know about it.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, shit. If it's an entertaining game, then why not?
They can go sit with the Maddens and
Yeah,
and the 2K guys.
How dare you? This isn't even a mainstream sport.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, roller derby people. You're mainstream to me.
I do just want to say again, Just Dance 2020 is coming out on the Wii. That is all.
It's like the third time we mentioned Just Dance.
Yeah, I know. I want because it still blows my mind. Without going
I feel
into
like you're
it,
beating it into my brains because like I'm trying to lose weight, and I feel like you're just beating it because like it's not one of those public things that I've really been talking about. But I've been trying to lose weight, and I feel like you're just like you're fat. Just play the game. So basically, when we end tonight, I'm gonna go buy it.
Okay,
Nice.
okay.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, no problem, man. Just looking out for you, dude.
Good job.
I don't really have anything else to say about Ubisoft besides the fact that they had like 7 Tom Clancy things.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the whole conference was I felt like the whole conference was just Tom Clancy and For Honor with other games sprinkled in between like little Easter eggs.
I think their conference wasted more time on people talking about shit that nobody cared about than anybody else's. Like that's one of the few ones that I actually watched all the way through, and I was working on my car while it was going on, but the whole time all I heard was people talking about shit I didn't care about, and people dancing.
They did announce Gods and Monsters, which is a totally new IP, which was a cinematic trailer. But the interesting thing is that it's coming out in February next year. This is less than a year, and they didn't show any gameplay, which is a bold fucking move. I don't know when they're gonna show gameplay. Interestingly enough, Ubisoft did not show anything about Beyond Good and Evil 2 or 3. Wait, which one is it? Is it 3 or 2? 2.
No, it's just 2.
Yeah. Didn't they last year though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is weird. I had not thought about that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
They did say that they're gonna have like a separate live stream after E3 though. So like, I don't know. It kind of seems doesn't really know what the game is. It kind of seems that they don't know what they're making anymore. Because it was announced a while back, like 2 or 3 years ago. And it's still like, who the fuck knows when it comes out even?
Not even Ubisoft.
Well, yeah, I mean, it seems like it's a massive fucking project. Next year it's gonna be cancelled.
Probably.
All right.
Ready to move on to, I think it's Square?
Did anybody watch Kind of Funny Games?
Yeah.
I'll quickly mention two things from Kind of Funny Games. A lot of these, well, all of them were like really small indie games. 2 of them caught my eye. One is Summer Catchers, and the reason is it looked like a really like, it's a side scroller kind of very fast kind of driving game. It had like awesome music in the trailer, but I don't know if that's the actual music they're gonna use. The other one, and this is something I'm gonna show you guys because this looks awesome.
Skatebird.
It's called Skatebird, and you're a bird on a little skateboard, and you're skating around. I fucking love this.
So it's Tony Hawk, but literal.
Yeah, it's you're a little bird, and you're skating around. I want to play this so bad. This looks fucking good, right?
It's kind of adorable.
Oh, he fell down.
It is a little adorable. He fell down. Oh, he's wearing a little cowboy hat. Oh, man.
Oh shit, a blackbird.
I mean, this looks fucking cool.
Why can't it just be
Yeah,
a
we're
bird?
finally getting Skate 4. This is it, guys. This is Skate 4 that everybody has been craving for. I mean, shit.
Alright.
So you know what the best thing is? You guys can play this right now.
Ooh.
It's coming out in 2020. If like they say, if they get enough money on Kickstarter. But I think they have like a demo on their official webpage or something. And I really want to try it out. Getting hyped over a game with nothing new, just a reskin, puts the earlier discussions in perspective. Yo, bro.
I've never seen any other game that looked like that game.
Yeah, let's take it down a notch. I'm not serious about Skatebird. It's literally birds on skateboards. I just
All
want to
other
play it
skating
because
games.
it's
I've never
birds
seen another
on
skating game look like that.
skateboards.
Did you not see the bird? It had a bird.
There was a bird with a cowboy hat. It's fucking genius.
I have never once worn a cowboy hat in a skating game. Okay, that means it's a brand new thing.
Hey, that was a fucking bird.
Yeah, that was Tony Hawk, man.
That was a really strange looking dog.
This is almost like the discussion that was in my Discord about Final Fantasy VII Remake being shit.
It's gonna be terrible.
Let's move on to Square. And
Sounds good.
talk about Final Fantasy VII because that's the only noteworthy thing to talk about.
I don't have anything to say.
I don't know about that being the only noteworthy thing.
They actually,
I mean-
I don't know. They've got a good list for me.
Yeah.
Got a solid list of games.
There was one part that I actually laughed out loud at, in that whenever they, I think it was Square, whenever they talked about, oh no, it wasn't Square, it's for Nintendo, I'll bring it up later. But it is a Square game. I'll bring it up later.
Okay.
I mean, just even the small stuff, like Last Remnant Remastered, pretty significant. And I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong, but I'm almost positive they removed the Last Remnant from Steam recently.
I will check right now.
Maybe I'm an idiot,
No,
but I feel like that's the case.
It's unrelated.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate you.
Just look it up.
Wait, did they move it then?
Yeah, it is gone. It is no longer.
Yeah. So I mean, even that being, easily accessible once again is, I feel, kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
And there is definitely a very niche crowd of people that actually do want to play that game. Dragon Quest XI. I'm jealous that you get the sweet little 2D top-down RPG mode.
Yeah.
Switch users.
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to it. Like that, whenever they showed it a month or two ago on a direct, and that actually was like, okay, I'll probably get it.
It's really cool. I had no idea about it until it came up, and I was like, what the fuck? I thought it was a whole different game. But can you play the whole game with that top-down mode?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, I didn't know if they mentioned it or not.
I would assume, but I honestly, now that you said, I just assumed you could, but honestly, I don't know.
It was really neat.
I think the only downside to Square's thing is that I think like half of their conference was either ports, remasters, or re-releases.
Yeah.
I mean, looks like they had 18 things, and there's 7 Crystal Chronicles, Octopath, Remnant, Dragon Quest,
Italian, right?
yeah, Battalion, Final Fantasy VIII, and is romancing. Neither one
I
of the
wasn't
Saga
really
games
sure.
are-
I have no idea.
It reminds me of Saga Frontier, so I don't know if
Yeah.
it was.
So
part of that or
at best, 7 of them, 7 of 18 were remakes, remasters, or ports. So that is the only downside to it. Oh, Octopath, so 8.
Yeah. I can't
But
say I
that-
am excited. Go ahead.
But that
Go ahead.
Final Fantasy 7, yo, boys.
Oh.
I was just gonna leave that for last. I know I'm
we can leave
hyped
it for
enough,
last.
and
We can leave it for
PP
last.
hard. PP hard for sure.
PP hard, yeah.
But
PP a little bit hard.
no, I'm even Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers I'm hype about, and probably will jump back into 14 for quite a few months after it releases.
Nice.
I was really happy with this whole conference.
Yeah.
One thing,
we were-
one thing about Marvel or Marvel Avengers game is that it seems to have created a lot of confusion what the game actually is. And I tried my fucking hardest before we went live today to kind of get a condensed version of what the game is, and this is the best what I came up with. It is a co-op narrative game that you can play by yourself, but I don't know if there's AI or not, like other AI things or not. But it is a live service game which will be developed for years to come after it's released, where they're gonna add more content to the game in portions. But I don't know what the fuck that means or how the game will play. And I'm really, really skeptical because the last time I was promised a live service game with a lot of content, it was Anthem. And that fucking crashed and burned. So I don't know what they're gonna do with this one either.
You had no intentions of playing Anthem anyways.
Not the slightest of intentions. But I was promised a game that with a expansive universe and never-ending content, and I was lied to. I never got the game, but I was still lied to.
I like to think that Square Enix holds themselves to a higher standard. Because I mean, even Square's flops still have fans. Like even their game, like Final Fantasy 13 is probably the biggest flop that they've had in recent history, and there's still a lot of people who enjoy Final Fantasy 13. They're all wrong, but there are people that enjoy 13.
And even though I thrashed 12, it still wasn't complete and total dog shit. There's still a worm living in there somewhere.
Well, 12 was fucking good though. See, your opinion is just wrong.
See, but that's what I mean.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, that's
I was
what I'm
trying
saying.
to go
Like,
away from that as quickly as possible. I just wanted my jab and then I wanted to leave.
12 is the one that kind of broke away from the turn-based, right? The first one that broke away from it, like.
yeah.
Yeah,
If you don't count the MMO.
yeah.
Yeah. I like 12.
Get out.
But I mean, like, the problem with these types of live service games is that what they're selling us is essentially like you get the base game and then have faith, and for multiple years after release you'll get more content, and they said on stage that everything that's going to come after release is going to be free. So they did not show any gameplay. Of course they did not. So then the questions are going to be like, okay, how much is the base game? Are we going to have an Anthem deal where there's nothing? Or is it going to be
$350.
what?
You talking about Final Fantasy 7?
No.
That's all I can think about. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
apparently. So I mean, so like that's what I'm concerned about with Avengers essentially.
I'm not really. I mean, I get the concern just because of other companies' track records with that kind of thing. But I think Square. I think Square is better than that. I don't know of Square ever like backpedaling on promises or anything like that. So I'm not worried about it. It's fine to have a healthy amount of skepticism on it, but with their track record, I think it's probably gonna
See, I think it's important to note that it's Crystal Dynamics who are developing this game, who have never made this type of game before.
I almost don't want it to be their new thing.
I mean, I would much rather have a Avengers game that is a contained single player game that has a story from A to B to C and then it ends.
The one thing I was impressed with is there are many parts of the trailer that were obviously, cinematics, but there were moments when I genuinely questioned myself whether or not it was gameplay. Like, it felt kind of seamless. There were moments where I was confused whether or not it was player controlled or cinematic, which is kind of exciting. So maybe it'll, I don't know.
I'd still
It'll be
like
great.
I'd like to see a gameplay demo.
It almost seemed like the cinematic parts of it were in-game graphic cinematics.
Yeah. I remember the one scene of the Hulk like jumping across the bridge or something shit like that and grabbing something, and that looked like gameplay to me. Like, if it was cinematic, it was very bad cinematic. But yeah, so I don't know if it was like a mix or how they.
I don't know. I just maybe I like to think there was more gameplay in there than there was.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it as a big comic book fan. I'll definitely get it.
Are you gonna get the are you gonna play the early beta for PS4?
Probably not.
I have no idea how to even get into that.
Probably not.
Well,
I don't
May,
like
May
to- I don't-
15th then. May 15th, 2020. Then you can jump in.
I don't like to play betas like that because I feel like all I'm doing is ruining the game ahead of time. Like it's just playing enough to take away from the experience whenever it's done. Because like and I feel like a lot of betas for those type of games aren't that bad. But if it is that bad, I don't want like a beta gameplay to put a sour taste in my mouth for what eventually is a fine game. I that's why I usually don't play betas for those kind of things.
That makes sense.
Fair.
What should be
It's not about that
1 week before everybody else. So
Yeah.
it's not a beta though at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, should we talk now about it?
Yeah, let's move on to Nintendo, right?
Yeah, that's next, right?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna put this here. This footage can roll. Glorious.
It's so good.
Not with 4K. Holy shit.
It just looks amazing.
Yeah.
I
This-
don't know what else to say. I am giddy for sure.
Yeah.
I'm
it's
definitely getting-
like holy shit.
Like the battles are so much more dynamic now.
Whenever
honestly,
this go ahead.
I'm honestly like very, very surprised how much they showed and how much it impressed me. Honestly. And
You guys can have at it because I'm gonna unload eventually.
see, the one thing that I know, like this boss fight is really, really epic. Now, I want to know, is every fucking boss fight gonna be this? Are they gonna jump around the arena? Is the arena gonna catch on fire? Because it does catch on fire in this one. It does like flips and shit. Like, if you have the opening boss be this complex, I feel like you kind of can't go back from that anymore. So what's
Yeah.
gonna happen with every other boss fight?
I don't know.
I mean, There shouldn't be a reason they can't do that with every boss and have it be more and more epic, really. So
Yeah.
hopefully they just do it.
I mean, there's a
don't
lot of
lack
bosses in the game that have a lot of
Scorpion
openings
anus.
for. Yeah, and there's a lot of bosses that have a lot of true openings for mechanics like this. Like even apps with the tsunami, there's no reason why they can't have like an active thing, kind of like the laser related, for that fight, as well as many others in the game. I don't see why they wouldn't all be this exciting and involved.
Yeah.
I'm goddamn hoping for it though.
What blew me away the most about this trailer is like whenever they started doing like in-game dialogue and stuff, I kept waiting for it to switch to gameplay footage, and then it just was. Like the graphics and everything just looks so polished on this. It just blew me away the whole time. Like I said, I just kept, like, if Barrett was talking or something outside, I was like, oh, okay, so when's this cinematic end? And then it just shifts into gameplay and it's the same graphics. I thought that was crazy.
So awesome. Like Cloud's getting focused by the laser, and Barrett just rolls out and he's like, sorry. You could swap between characters mid-combat, and it's like hybrid ATB-ish. I don't fully understand yet.
So what they said about the ATB, and so I would not call this game turn-based. I would call it almost turn-based if you choose it to be almost turn-based.
Yeah.
So like you have under the health bar, there's the blue bars. When you can choose, like when the blue bar fills, the gameplay slows down to a crawl, and then you can choose your action, be it like magic or whatever. So it's almost like turn-based, but you can also put them on like hotkeys, which is what we're watching right now. But like the fact is that it's not gonna be turn-based like in 1997.
No.
Yeah.
Which, let's be real, if you live in, today, like now, like this current moment, you wouldn't expect this to be turn-based. Let's be realistic.
Yeah. And honestly, like I am reading chat. I read everything you guys put in chat. The fan base that are screeching about this not being turn-based, there's always a game they can play. It's called Final Fantasy VII. It was released in 1997. You can play that game. It is turn-based. Like it's already out. And there's also a version on PC. Like let's put the next thing on here. Because why the fuck not?
I'm glad you said that, because you were way nicer than I was about to be.
Just repeat it in your way, in your own way.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
No, but that's the reality of it. Like, because I'm gonna reference the talks in my Discord. One person wanted polished graphics, but nothing else. There exists that game already. It's the PC port. It has polished graphics. It has upscaled graphics from the PS1. It's like, and then it's nothing else. Literally what that person wants.
Guys, I will be right back. I've got to go take care of something real fast.
All right, no worries. So I'm like, I really am excited for this. This is what the guy is talking about. So the ATB bar fills. All of this is the gameplay slows down to a crawl, and you can choose your ability, spell, or item. This is the turn-based. Now this is, you can choose to do this or not. So they're even trying their fucking best to cater to those assholes who like, we want this game to be turn-based because the original was turn-based. And now you people have that option to play this as a turn-based game.
To do the turn-based aspect of it, do you have to?
I think you have
You
to
were
fill
saying-
the ATB meter.
Yeah.
Yeah. The ATBs that are in both of these trailers, they have like two portions. So two like bars, I guess, for each character. And once it fills, like you can choose an action to choose to do an action besides like attacking.
But it
Okay.
seems you need to do actions to fill that bar. So you can't play this game as a true ATB wait.
No, I think it fills with like you attack.
Yeah, you have to be active within the battle.
So it's just like a turn-based sampler.
See, I think the entire discussion of is this turn-based or not is just it's useless. Like if you want a turn-based game, then you can literally play that turn-based game right now.
Yeah.
You can even choose to play any number of turn-based games.
I mean, that generally goes toward anything anybody's saying it's not Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, I mean,
Not just the combat, just every single fucking thing that has been said.
to me it is Final Fantasy VII though.
I don't know, even the little tiny details that they put in, like I am very excited for no reason, genuinely, but very excited to see that there is materia now within the Buster Sword and Barrett's weapons and just little tiny shit that they put in.
Yeah.
And weapons aren't static, it seems, because later on when you fight Airbuster, he does, I think it's the Rune Blade. He has the Rune Blade in his hand.
I mean, this game just like I've been very critical about Final Fantasy 15, but the one thing I think they did really well with Final Fantasy 15 is the combat, how combat flows in that game.
Yeah, but you just hold X. I hope they don't Final Fantasy 15 the shit out of this and make it so you can buy as many high potions as you want and just heal to full whenever.
And so yeah, I get that, but combat was honestly enjoyable in 15. It was the only enjoyable part of 15.
Yeah, if you didn't break it.
So I hope they obviously innovate on the combat in this one. It seems like they have. Obviously, like there is magic usage and stuff like that, and they seem to have like other things here too. Square is attack and triangle is charge for Barret at least, and circle is commands menu. I mean you can't really go maybe too deep into the combat in this game because the original didn't have that deep of a combat system. I mean,
It does seem like everybody is more customizable than the original was. With, if you look, like whenever Barrett's ATB is full, he has like a passive and active skill. He has like a focus shot and kind of like a steel skin ability, as well as I think Cloud has Braver and Cross Slash. So I think characters are getting their own little. It's not just a hack and slash, throw magic at people kind of game. You can play with their passive skills to make them a little more, like Barrett's more tanky, and Cloud's gonna do more. I guess mostly fizz with magic.
Welcome back, Joe.
Thanks, sir.
Tifa gameplay looks great.
The Tifa gameplay did look cool.
Yeah,
The fist fighting and whatnot.
true that.
Yeah, it looks like it'll be really fun. And like I said, just generally swapping between characters.
Also, they did say on stage that they have like 2 Blu-ray discs worth of content for this one game. It's still gonna be episodic, and the first game is gonna be Midgar only. This is how I interpret what It's on the web page, and they're gonna treat it as a standalone game, which I assume means that eventually, when episode 2 comes out, you don't need to have the first one to play the second one. Which would also mean that you probably, in the second game, you can't go back to Midgar. Probably.
I didn't consider that.
I mean, it has to be like that, right?
But I mean, in the original, you do go back to Midgar because you have the assault on Midgar when you go back and fight Hojo and Proud Claude and everything.
Yeah, that's
Plus,
in episode 3, right?
Disc 3, you mean?
No,
I'm talking about.
No, I mean episode 3. I'm speculating. I don't know how many episodes.
Yeah, I can't call anything an episode at this point, but I'm assuming, and maybe they did mention that everything is going to be Midgar first. My understanding is the 2 Blu-ray discs worth of content is going to be this first episode all Midgar. At first, somebody was making me think that the entire game was fitting on 2 Blu-rays, but I don't think that's the case.
I mean, there's the thing I posted in our DMs that I copied from straight from the Square Enix's webpage. The first entry in a multi-part saga, delivering a level of depth inconceivable for the original. It was in the where you can buy the game. Oh shit.
I'm curious with the Soldier First Class thing or any of the like deluxe edition. If you pay into that, is it only just this section of the game? Is it only episode 1?
I would assume. Because I to me the almost the way that it sounds like they're doing it is even though it is all one big being them like separate games.
What'd you say?
I said the way I'm kind of interpreting it is even though that it's all one big story, I think they're treating them as separate games.
Yeah, that's how I feel too.
So like Final Fantasy VII, like episode 1 is a whole. It's almost like an enclosed experience.
Yeah.
And then episode 2 is just a whole other game, but it's still, basically a sequel if you want to put it that way.
I guess that's possible. It's just mind blowing. Like I can't even begin to understand that because I play the game as a whole. You know what I mean?
But they did say that like the amount of story and just the amount of world basically that they're putting into this game was something that they couldn't have even imagined for the original. So
I can't even imagine how big Midgar can be because we only see
like
a very minuscule amount of it.
Now they have like the opportunity to explore those places they couldn't explore in the first game, or the original.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we saw very little of Midgar. Midgar is huge, and we saw a portion of it. So, like, I really hope that this is gonna be. And I mean, I trust like if they have 2 discs worth of game, that's shitload of game, right? I mean, FF15 is 1 disc. Like
it goes into how you were talking about the boss fights, how they're going to be, if like, can they keep them so epically and all that stuff? Like, I'm assuming if like 1/3 of the game is going to be on 2 discs now, there is going to be a lot of shit going on and a lot of detail, a lot of things like that.
I would fucking hope so.
Yeah.
Even the Airbuster fight that happens at the second reactor, he actually now like floats out in midair. I don't even know how you would fight that battle with these mechanics. It would have to be very Barrett and Magic based because he's not on the platform with you
Maybe
anymore.
Cloud flies, man. You just whip your sword up, then you fly off with your sword.
All right, if Cloud flies, we got problems. Just saying.
He's gonna be like Thor, how we talk about him, like he couldn't fly at first, and then eventually he's just gonna start waving his sword around.
Throws his hammer and he carries it and holds on to it. That doesn't even make sense to me. You would literally rip your arm off. I'm doing this a lot, I know.
Not if you're Thor.
I guess.
Yeah, so this is the Airbuster
Cloud's
fight.
just gonna start spinning his sword really
Shadow's
fast and
watching
become
now.
like a helicopter.
Oh, well, there you go. I'd say while it's out there floating, the only thing you can do is bear it and dodge. If I was to guess, I'd say that's it.
But even this,
'Cause
like,
it did-
they're showing Sephiroth, right? Sephiroth does not really appear in Midgar ever.
Okay, now this is what I was thinking. Throughout the game, Cloud has many like internal monologues and like battles with the whole like Genova Cell thing going on, and I think maybe that's them actually bringing it to life instead of just dialogue. I think that's the moments, because like the first time after the pillar collapses, Cloud has like a little freak out moment, and Barrett and Tifa aren't with him, and he's like kind of talking to himself in his head, and I think that's just them bringing those kind of moments into realization. At least I'm assuming.
Yeah. I think you're exactly right. I think that they're finally able to like properly show that internal struggle with the and I don't want to say the graphics, but I mean it is, now Cloud can have facial expressions without having to make an entire cinematic about it. You can see you can hear the distress in his voice, you can see it on his face. So showing, I mean, if it had showed Sephiroth just pop up and then you swing on him and then he disappears, that in the old game, that could mean one of a million things. I mean, that could be conveying anger or, but now with how they can tell this story, you're actually able to see that kind of internalized, distress about Sephiroth. And I think that you're exactly right. I think you hit I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, see, I'm actually interested in like seeing that if they explore Cloud's mind more in this, like in ways they couldn't do in the original one.
The whole live stream, and I know this is way, way, way down the line, the whole live stream ordeal whenever Cloud finally like wakes up and realizes, his whole life's a lie, that's just gonna be astronomical.
Yeah,
There's
I
so
really
much
hope
that
they
goes
do
on there.
make that like a really trippy thing.
Yeah.
Here, chat, you can watch the FF8 remaster thing.
I'm so glad I played and beat both of these games. Now I can enjoy them again.
I'm excited. This looks really good.
I mean,
The
honestly,
PC port looked like trash.
Yeah, it looked like trash, but it's still the same game. I mean, this is.
I mean,
Well, yeah.
obviously. That's why people are going to
But I
buy
mean-
it, because it's the same game.
Yeah, but I mean, I already have this game.
I feel like what they did, I don't know. I feel like they just threw some like PS2 textures on it, which is fine because it still looks better.
See,
It doesn't look sloppy like the PS2 smoothing, though.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm happy about. It looks a lot cleaner.
And they probably didn't fuck the music.
Well, yeah. Well, I think you can even hear the music. I'm pretty sure it's
But
not.
I mean,
If
this
they
is
use
the-
MIDI files, dude, everybody will lose it.
I mean, this is just a trailer, though. So I mean, I'll wait for the actual thing to come out.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for 9. If they can just remaster or remake 9, I'll be happy.
We're going in order here, okay?
Oh. And they, hang on.
Hang on. I don't think they ever will remake 9.
I feel like they wouldn't remake 8 as well.
I don't know, like.
I do feel like more people like 9 than they do 8. I feel like of the 3, like the PS1 trilogy, 8 is the redheaded stepchild. No offense to any redheaded stepchilds.
I wasn't a bastard.
But I feel like it was probably the one that was just like the odd man out of those. So I am surprised that it got a remaster of between it and 9.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Well, I mean, 9 still looks good compared to what 8 was. Have you?
I mean, shit.
seen
Maybe
8?
there's a remaster of 9 next year.
Maybe.
Announced during E3 to
Have
go
you
along
seen
with
the
already.
greatest looking guy here emote.
What?
The greatest look. No, I haven't.
It's Squall's face at the dance,
Oh
Yes!
yeah,
and it just looks like pixelated dog shit.
yeah.
That's from the game. That's
Yeah,
not a joke.
That meme will die now.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if they just embraced that meme and it was the same?
Like his whole body is completely remastered and his
Yeah.
face is just nothingness.
It's just like looking into the face of an eldritch horror. It's like, oh yeah, that's a handsome dude.
It's awful.
I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah, I'd play that.
I might. There's a good chance I'll actually pick up the remaster. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I don't know. I just recently played 8 on stream, completed it, so I mean, I won't buy it. I will
I should
buy
probably
it.
one-
play a Final Fantasy game.
I mean, Trevor, I have a great Final Fantasy game you can start off with. It comes out March the 3rd, 2020, on the PS4. It's called Final Fantasy VII Remake.
That's right.
Yeah, to be fair,
think-
if you've never played one, then there's no reason to go back in time and play an old one.
Yeah,
Especially
I
if
played
it's not
Final
your thing.
Fantasy VII for like a little bit, like maybe a few hours into the game, and that's like blind playing, so not far into that. And then I played like a few hours into 12. Like that's my Final Fantasy experience.
You can also play my personal recommendation, Final Fantasy 12. It's real good.
I hear that's a really good game and probably
Well,
better than
that's what I
7.
said. I've played 12 for a few hours and I actually enjoyed it, but that was years and years ago. I just kind of quit playing it.
So when is Final Fantasy 6 getting a remaster? Final Fantasy 6 has a remaster already. It's the iOS version that's on Steam.
See you, Sully.
Hi, Sully. Hi, Sully.
How dare you?
Hey. Are we not allowed to like games?
I don't know what I just opened and closed on my computer, but like 12 windows just opened up.
Whoops.
I left the stream. Jesus.
12 is like 13 but worse graphics. 12 and 13 have nothing in common.
12 look bad.
I mean, yeah, the original on PS2 looks bad. Like really it's really grainy because I mean it's those certain types of PS2 games where they insert a lot of detail into them, but then it doesn't like translate well. Like they try to make faces really detailed, but because it's the PS2 and PS2 hardware, it's gonna look like shit because you're trying to insert too much detail. But there's always the Zodiac edition, which is HD and doesn't look like ass.
So start with 12 remake. Okay, I got it.
Honestly, I don't fucking know. Like, a very common question is, which Final Fantasy game should I start with? And depending on who you ask, you get a different fucking answer.
Yeah, I'll probably pick up the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Oh, I will too.
Yeah,
I bet
that'll
Sully
be
will
my,
too. Did you
I don't know if Sully
pre-order
will
it?
play it.
Did you pre-order it? Did you pre-order F7?
I don't have the money. I just moved
Oh.
into a new apartment.
Shit. Do you need money? Should I give you money?
And my car's broken. No, don't worry about it. I'll
Okay.
figure it out.
Okay.
I'm gonna sell my bike.
Okay. I mean. Okay.
Just sell all your streaming gear to
Hey,
play the
you
game.
watch your mouth.
You're not even a streamer anymore. Come on, boy.
Streaming it right now, bitch.
Damn, the technicalities.
I don't even have to stream anymore.
Gravit says start with Final Fantasy 1 and work my way up. How was that, Gravit?
Yeah, how was the Gradigi?
Oh yeah, I'm still working my way through it. It's been like 2 years and I'm on 10.
Yeah. Taking your sweet ass time.
I am. I'm savoring them.
I think I found your channel when you were playing
4?
Yeah, either like I it's either 4 or 6 because I don't remember you playing 5.
And maybe it was 6 then.
I've actually never played 1 through 5.
I remember you saying that.
Well, never finished, I should say.
See,
Yeah.
whenever you're finished, like I assume, like at this point it's 15 is the last one, right? So we're gonna dedicate like an entire podcast episode just gonna talk about Final Fantasy games.
Dang. I feel special.
Means I need to catch up.
I mean, I haven't played. Like I think I've played almost all the games, like at least some amount of them, but I haven't finished like even half of them.
What's weird is like for a really long time, I was like I could barely contribute to Final Fantasy conversations, but a lot of my friends had played a ton of them, and now I've played more than any of them.
Yeah, fuck them.
Fuck them, dude. They don't know jack.
Exactly. Should we move on to Nintendo?
I believe.
I think
so.
I only
That's-
have one more thing to mention
Do it.
from Square.
Do it.
Outriders looks neat for a cinematic.
Wasn't Outriders
it.
the co-op thing?
I don't think there was any gameplay. It was all
but
cinematic. It just looked gnarly.
they talked about it being like this co-op. Oh yeah. This is yeah. It is the
And
co-op.
it's got sweet music.
Summer 2020. Let's
Nice.
wait for gameplay. Probably gameplay
That
next
was it.
E3.
I'll keep my eyes open for that.
Yeah, it looks pretty good so far.
All right.
All right, so on to the part that I don't care about.
I don't think anyone but me cares about it. That's exciting.
Hey, I'm trying to be supportive. I think the Nintendo press conference was actually really good.
There was a lot. I feel like for them only having half as much time as everyone else, because their press conference was only 45 minutes, where everyone else's was an hour and a half. They had a ton of shit. They had a ton of stuff for how much.
But that's usually like what Nintendo does. Like they don't
Yeah.
dilly dally. They just show their shit and they're done.
Oh, this is a really big showcase. Holy shit.
There was a lot of stuff. So the thing I was going to mention earlier in the Square Enix thing is that they're releasing Trials of Mana, which is part of like the Secrets of Mana storyline. But they're also releasing the first 3 Mana games. And in America, the first one was released as Final Fantasy Legends, and they're keeping that name on it.
Oh,
Like,
really?
even though it is, it's still going to be called Final Fantasy Legends. Even though it's
man.
in the Secret of Mana trilogy.
It's gonna fucking confuse people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of how they released Chrono Cross as Final Fantasy Chronicles PlayStation.
Oh,
Or Chrono Trigger,
Chrono
I'm sorry.
Trigger, yeah.
But
But
I always think about the better one.
Wow. I just feel attacked now. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I thought that was fun. I don't think, without going into all the obvious hype beasts, because obviously Smash and Mario, well, probably not Mario Maker as much, but Animal Crossing and those games, without going into those, the thing that caught me completely out of left field. Has anyone ever even heard of Panzer Dragoon?
Oh yeah. PS2
I've heard of
launch
it.
title.
I know it's
Well-
really expensive.
But that's what I was gonna say. That actually, other than the big hype monsters, that actually excited me the most out of this because it is expensive. It also came out on the Sega Saturn. That game is a $1,500 game on the Sega Saturn.
What the fuck?
and we're finally getting it somewhere else, and I am super pumped to try it. I am excited to play it.
Damn.
Yeah. It's awesome. And the other one that was really cool, the Contra game came completely out of left field, and I think that that's going to be an amazing co-op game. I think that's going to be just a lot of fun, mindless violence.
Oh, it's not a side scroller?
No, it's like a third person thing.
Huh.
But they are actually releasing the anniversary collection for Contra as well, and I think you can get it right now. Yeah, it came out today. They announced it and released it, which is Nintendo's favorite thing to do.
How do you feel about Luigi's Mansion 3?
I think it's bullshit that even in his own game, Luigi is still player 2. Because if you do multiplayer in Luigi's Mansion, player 2 is still Luigi.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. That was dumb.
They also in the trailer they said something along the lines Mario and Peach and company. Like it's Luigi's game and he doesn't even get mentioned.
Yeah.
Like they're fucking dicking around with him.
That's why, like, in Smash Bros. Brawl, his final smash was literally just him getting so sad about being Luigi that it affected everybody else on the stage. It was one giant circle of depression that slowed everyone down, except for him.
That's fucking great.
Yeah.
God damn it.
No, I love Luigi's Mansion. I've played the other 2 games a few times each. I'm actually super looking forward to 3. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
I even played the first one and thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's a fun, just goofy game. The first time I played it, the person's house I played it at didn't have a memory card, so we just had to sit down and beat it like in one sitting. He had a memory card, and it was an Animal Crossing memory card, which was the only thing you could put on a GameCube memory.
Wait, so what's the difference between Trials of Mana and Collection of Mana?
Collection of Mana is Final Fantasy Legends, Secret of Mana, and whatever the third one's called. And that's actually available today too. I didn't realize that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember what the third game is called.
See, like I'm to that point where I'm like, I'm actually starting to consider a Switch.
I have been for a while. I just haven't pulled the trigger on it yet.
And I don't know though. I don't know though.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't have any reason to get one. I don't guess. So
they also they showed a little bit of Mario Maker 2, which I guess Mario Maker 2 will be cool for people. I really don't know why they released Mario Maker 2. Why don't they just update the first game?
I think that they're just adding in so many new features that it just wouldn't be feasible. Like they're adding in a whole other game mode, or a whole other game archetype. Because in the first one you could do Super Mario World, the original Super Mario, and New Super Mario Bros. And they added in Super Mario 3D Land, I think. So it's like a whole other set of physics that they added in. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, then it makes sense.
Yeah. I think it'll be cool. I might actually get this one. I didn't get the first one because it didn't really interest me too much, but with the new stuff that they're adding into this, I think it could actually be pretty legit. Not that the first one wasn't, it just wasn't legit for me. The sequel to Breath of the Wild is actually pretty massive. considering how it's only been 2 years since the first one came out. And less than, of course, I think less than like 18 months since the final DLC came out for it. So, and they were already announcing the next one. That's exciting.
Oh, I didn't even realize that was up there.
Yeah.
As well as the Cadence of Hyrule, which up until recently I had not played Crypt of the Necrodancer, but after playing it, really enjoy that game. And it's cool to see that they're doing that.
Yeah. And you can play as Zelda and Link.
Yeah, Cadence.
Sweet.
Yep.
And it's in like Link to the Past style graphics.
Yeah.
So
I was actually pretty surprised to see that The Witcher 3 is coming to Switch. And I'm also interested in
the
seeing
Resident Evil game.
Yeah, 5 and 6. Yeah, Resident Evil 5 and 6.
But I'm interested in seeing like what kind of visual downgrade will Witcher get when it eventually hits Switch.
A lot of times it's where they go easy on is the shaders. That's what I've found. If a game is released on like Xbox One, PS4, and Switch, they pull back on the shaders to make it easier for the Switch to run.
Okay.
I watched the most recent one I saw was Mortal Kombat 11 is on all three of those consoles, and that was basically the biggest difference. The textures didn't look any worse, but there was less kind of color gradients and there was less shading.
Oh, okay.
I would probably play Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 as well.
Just gonna put this gameplay trailer here on about Link's Awakening. I've never played Link's Awakening, but I hear that it's one of the better Zelda games. And I think
it's my favorite one.
Oh shit! So you're probably definitely gonna play this.
Yeah, I am. I am 100% gonna play it. They added in a ton of content to it, even from the last game, so it's not just like a remake. They showed several bosses in several areas that I don't recognize from the first game. And then there's also like a weird dungeon building thing where you can kind of lay out your own dungeon and then go through it.
Yeah, that looked really weird.
Yeah. It's a really kooky Zelda game that it doesn't take itself seriously at all. Like this shop guy in the original one, if you notice, Link took that bow and arrow and then went around behind the shop guy. If you run around him enough times, he'll kind of start to lag behind, and you can just run out the store and take it. But if you come back, he's like standing in the middle of the shop, and there's boss music that starts, and he's like, "You stole from me, now you must pay." And then he just strikes you with lightning, and you die. So it may not now, but I don't know why it wouldn't. It has a ton of other game references in it too. Like there's a Yoshi plush, and there's enemies that look like Kirby. There's straight up Goombas, like just plain Goombas that you jump on to kill. So it's definitely just like a goofier Zelda game that I'm definitely going to get day one.
You gonna stream it?
Yeah, probably. I
don't think I've ever seen you stream a Switch game.
I streamed. I just don't think people are that interested in Switch games, so I don't. But I did stream Kirby. I've streamed Kirby and Smash Bros. A few times.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that though.
But yo, what's the biggest thing objectively announced during this Nintendo thing?
Probably Animal Crossing.
What? Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Really? How can you say that?
I can't believe people still get their rocks off over those.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like, is this not the biggest thing? Like, how can this not be the biggest thing?
What?
I'm showing it right now.
Oh.
It's really...
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's because there's just too much not known. Like, it's just all we know is that it's a sequel to Breath of the Wild.
Oh yeah, but I think that's just it carries just weight. It's the sequel. It's a sequel to the mainline Zelda series,
Yeah.
and I mean I just thought that Zelda is big enough.
I mean, it is, but honestly, I've seen more people talking about, and maybe it's just the circles I'm in that like Animal Crossing more than Zelda. But I mean, there's no doubt that this is a giant hype beast in itself. But I do think probably just because we have more information about Animal Crossing, like we at least have an idea of when it's going to come out. Where this is just a cinematic trailer with virtually no information.
Oh yeah, I mean I get that also it holds weight. That with Animal Crossing, it's like okay, like you have some tangibles to latch on to, like when it's coming out. Where this is maybe 2 years from now.
Yeah, I think that's probably the only thing keeping that, in my opinion, from being bigger than Animal Crossing, is that. Like you said, Animal Crossing is more tangible. We know when it's going to happen. Where that, I mean, that game could be 5 or 6 years away, honestly. I mean, given how long they've been talking about the next Metroid game, I mean, it's the next Metroid game has been prolonged so long that they don't even think it's going to be on the Switch now. It's going to be on the next console.
Yeah, I completely forgot about the Metroid. Didn't they like reboot the whole development?
Yeah. So that's for me anyway. That's why I'm obviously excited for the game because Breath of the Wild was awesome, and I definitely will play that one. But I think that Animal Crossing is bigger, just because of that simple fact. It could be 5 or 6 years before we get the Breath of the Wild sequel.
Might even be not on Switch.
If it's on Switch, I will be next level shocked. Like, I will be absolutely dumbfounded if it is on the Switch. I think the only way it could end up being on the Switch is if they just drag the Switch out for as long as possible.
Yeah.
So, because I know that just going back to the Metroid as an example, it started out as a Wii U title.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, it's a while ago.
Yeah.
Poor Metroid fans, Jesus.
Yeah, they got it tough. They had they were waiting for a mainline Metroid thing, and then they got that Federation Force or whatever that's just set in the Metroid universe, but they tried to peddle it as a Metroid game. I mean, it did not do well.
Now, I don't know if this is all rumor. My brother and I were talking earlier. He mentioned that Microsoft and Nintendo is now in a partnership.
I've not heard anything about that, but it's not to say it's not true.
I don't know.
It might be bullshit.
Honestly, don't
Could
know.
be.
I was only curious because doesn't Microsoft have rights to Rare?
I mean, yeah. I mean, they made a deal with Banjo. Banjo is going to be in Smash, which is a Microsoft property.
Well, I was curious about Conkers too. Potential for Conkers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't know if it was true or if anybody heard anything about it.
I saw Phil Spencer tweet that the Banjo deal was one of the easiest Microsoft ever made on Twitter.
Really?
Cool. I mean, it's just, like if Nintendo were to approach me and say, "Hey, we want to use X character," the next day I would start developing a game for that character. Because as soon as that character is in Smash, that means 1 billion people are going to know about him and they're going to buy a game.
Yeah. That actually sounds pretty reasonable.
Yeah, like if Microsoft was not, or Rare rather, if Rare wasn't already working on a Banjo-Kazooie game, they better be.
I mean, they're knee deep in fixing Sea of Thieves, man. What the Fuck.
Oh gosh. Yeah, just quit.
I mean, they're still making content for that game. No joke.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Sometimes I almost kick myself for not playing that game, and then I watch somebody play it.
I
And then I'm
I
not
played it.
disappointed anymore.
oh no, yeah, oh no.
I own it. It's not fun. Or it wasn't. I played it like the
That's-
first month it was out.
Yeah, that's what's a shame. Like, it looked like it could have been really fun co-op, but
Yeah.
it doesn't look that way anymore.
Yeah. There's just nothing to do. You just sail out, and then you have to find an obscure treasure chest, and then you do a bunch of that, and then someone else comes up on you and kills you, takes all your treasure, and then you do it again.
Sounds repetitive.
Yeah, it is. That's the biggest issue, is that it is extremely repetitive. Like, they say that they have multiple missions and stuff for you to run, but it all really boils down to the same mission, but it's on a different island, and sometimes you're fighting skeletons instead of pirates.
Okay, well. See, I watched people play when it came out, and a lot of people were really, really hyped about it, even as they were playing it. And all I could see was that I would probably be bored within a couple of hours.
Yeah, and that's
But
exactly
there's
what
only
happened
like
to me.
two types of mobs, right? Like you said, pirates and, well, it's what, NPCs and skeletons, right?
Yeah.
Not NPCs, other player characters. Or are there NPC pirates?
No, there's NPC pirates.
Oh, are there?
Yeah, but there's not NPC pirates. I shouldn't say that. There are NPCs, but I don't think they're technically pirates. I think they're just like, because I know that there's various towns that you sell stuff to. But I don't think they're
Okay.
pirates. That's the whole point of, like, it's just like a repeating cycle. You go out and get loot so that you can get a better ship, so you can go out and get better loot, so you can get a better ship, so you can go out and get better loot, so you can get better. It goes in a circle.
Oh shit, guys. Does anybody have anything else to add to this podcast? About the topics that we've had?
I think I'm good.
Hopes and dreams
E3.
for E3 2020.
What?
Hopes and dreams
Already?
for E3. Of course,
I don't know.
man.
God of War 2.
Okay. Big one. See, chat has ideas too.
Elder Scrolls Dragon Age.
Resident
Well,
Evil 3 Nemesis.
Borderlands
See?
4.
Wow, going big there, real big.
Borderlands 3 DLC.
So
I'm gonna-
overall, go ahead.
I'm gonna say a greedy new Jack and Daxter.
So overall, from what everyone watched, what would you say was this E3 good or bad? Like, overall, considering everything, do you think this was a good or bad E3?
My expectations were met, all of them. I had two expectations and both of them were met. So for me, I was not disappointed.
Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, I think it was pretty good. I think that they definitely, I think that they, obviously not on purpose, but I feel like a lot of fandoms were made happy with this E3. I think that there was a lot of stuff that people haven't seen in a long time that they are getting to see again this E3, and I think there's something for everybody.
Yeah, I kind of agree with what you said. For the general public, I think it was just your, run of the mill, good, overall good E3 that kind of covers everyone. For me personally, there wasn't anything that I was like super excited about, or nothing that really kind of made me go, oh man, I really wanted to see that. So I was just kind of just another day.
I mean, obviously, aside from like one or two things, it's mediocre. I'm not a big fan of these conventions. I don't buy into this a whole lot. Like, I don't follow the gaming industry, you know.
Well, I think we discussed it on the last episode, or maybe between that, is like you and Trevor aren't hype monsters like me and Tom are.
Am I a hype monster now?
Like,
damn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn.
like if they,
We all said, yeah.
the thing that I was really looking forward to this year was Borderlands 3, and they already announced that, so I'm not really counting that for this E3 thing. Even though they did show it, I'm not counting it in there. But if it was revealed, that would be my thing. That I would be like, I was really hyped about that. But
Did you like the character that they revealed though?
I actually didn't see it.
Ooh.
Shoot, me neither.
Yeah. I've been
What, it was
like
the-
It's one character.
With,
like it's
It's the
really
mech
not that-
character, right?
Yeah, it's the
mech character.
Yeah.
Mo's the gunner. Yeah.
It looks neat.
The one that I'm excited about is the animal guy. So when they show him,
All right, let's do some shout outs.
I'll go first.
Okay.
You guys should check out Northern Savant. I'm Gradigy. I approve this message. Now I'm done.
I said this guy last podcast. Go check out Geekery Collective. He's a pretty good streamer. And
Son of a bitch.
and my channel is at Trevor the Miracle. Check me out too.
Oh my thunder, bro.
Damn.
Say it again.
I thought about that one a whole lot too.
What you gonna say? What you gonna say now though?
Go check out Trevor the Miracle and Gradigy and Tumalo on Twitch.
I thought you were going to say North and skip Tom.
Yeah, man. Why not?
You can't watch too many Finns on Twitch, so you've gotta pick and choose.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I could have just got up and walked away again, but I decided against it.
It would have been really good if you did and just didn't come back. I probably would have fell out of my chair if that happened.
Just left for the rest of the stream.
Yeah.
Maybe you guys should go check out McSully Sulkin. Sometimes streams.
Once a month.
Hey, but that's a good stream. That's a quality stream.
Mm-hmm.
You've never seen my chatterbait ones.
Yeah, I have a
Yes,
whole
I
career.
have.
I have a whole career. Chatterbait. Yeah.
Check out my premium Snapchat, by the way.
Yeah, if you donate like $10 to me, you'll get access to my premium Snapchat and my Grinder profile.
Wow. Let's go ahead and wrap this up, fellas.
Check me out on Farmers Only.
Yeah, you can look me up on Christian Mingle.
Yeah. Okay.
God.
Yeah. I also sometimes stream. It seems like I stream only my podcast episodes these days, but fuck it. I promise I'll stream something someday. I got the rest of the week off. I'll probably just be drunk. I'm gonna promise now, dudes, everybody. I'm gonna do a classic Pomelo drunk stream.
Playing Madden.
Before next week's Monday.
God, I hope you're playing Madden.
I can't wait.
Yo, I will donate, Trevor. I will give you $100 if you stream Madden.
What? So are we gonna go
It's
watch?
actually really worth it. Like, all you have to do is go live, press play, and then end stream. You're fine.
You have to play Madden for 3 hours straight and be hyped about
3
it
hours.
the entire time.
Hyped about it?
You have to woo every 2 minutes.
Trevor, just let me know before you go live, and I will be in chat, and I will be your hype man. You will have no choice but to be hype.
Every touchdown, you have to get up your chair and be like, "Wow, yeah, baby, yeah!" and like do a little lap. That'll be
It's like 5 a.m. where time is.
It's 5:45. People are already waking up and going to work. I'm going to bed.
I'll prepare.
Sorry, North. Sorry, everybody else too. Oh man, I need a beer. Luckily, I have my entire fridge is filled with beer right now. There's not food there anymore. There's only beer. Vacation, man. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. This has been the Pantsless Podcast. We are live once per month. All the episodes are up on YouTube at our channel, which I don't have a link to because I'm a lazy asshole. If you follow me on Twitter or join my Discord, I will post all of this shit there. I think this still works. Right? Does it? Yes, it does. There's my Discord link and my Twitter. This episode will be up on YouTube probably tomorrow. I'll render the shit and do it. And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody.
Okay, bye guys.
Okay, bye guys.
Yeah.
Bye 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 bye.